AEW Dynamite, and it's a little bit strange to be live on a Wednesday for Dynamite, but we are live on a Wednesday for Dynamite, and it's kind of nice to be back on a Wednesday, but also a little strange. I'm so used to watching Dynamite straight after SmackDown that, as I said, it's just a little bit bizarre, but it is nice. It gives us something to do tonight. I have been resting my voice throughout the whole day. I managed to get a good amount of sleep as well, so feeling, obviously no games or anything for us to do earlier today, so feeling very refreshed, feeling pretty good, pretty raring to go. So we will be live for Dynamite that starts in about an hour's time. I'm not going to bother tweeting out about it because we all know the drama with AEW, so, you know, it'll be whatever it'll be. But, yeah, we are here for Dynamite. I do still need to just find Fight TV, go over there, get it all loaded up. But, no, we're pretty much good to go. Not much in the way of news today, but we can certainly go through the bits of news that are doing the rounds at the moment. Talk about anything that you want to talk about. Say hello to the people that are joining us. Which reminds me, I need to find the chat. Boom. Hello. Heather, shout out to you. Hope you are well. So I saw a lot of people asking, what matches have we got today? Let's just start with that, and then we can progress from there. So Andrade is teasing the reveal of his surprise. So Andrade is saying that his surprise will be revealed on this show. Now, they have been teasing this for a little while, so it's not guaranteed that we're going to see that surprise revealed today. It might be that it just continues to get teased, so we'll have to wait and see on that. But he is teasing that we will get some answers on this show. Other than that, we've got, I think the main event is going to be Sammy Guevara against MJF. This has got a big fight feel, actually. I think they've done a very good job of making Sammy Guevara feel like a big deal. I really like how he was kind of true to his word. He didn't want MJF around. Sammy was the one that was really standing up for MJF not being a part of the Inner Circle. And, you know, all along he was saying he was a bad egg. He was proven right. Obviously, he came back and, you know, he's been Jericho's right-hand man. Jericho's about to go away on a tour. The spotlight now will firmly shift onto Sammy being like the main man in the Inner Circle. Seems like they're going to continue with the Inner Circle. And he gets like a spotlight tonight. We think that'll be the main event. Sammy Guevara takes on MJF. As well as that, we've got Jungle Boy taking on Jack Evans. Jungle Boy, fantastic performance last week. We've got Miro taking on Brian Pillman Jr. And I must admit, I was very confused by this. I was under the impression that Miro was a face. I was under the impression that the Varsity Blondes were faces. I was confused as to why Miro came out, started attacking them. I don't know if that was meant to be a heel turn, but he kind of came in as a heel, then he was a face. Is he back to being a heel? I kind of feel like I just don't get why they're messing around with Miro. I feel like booking Miro is the simplest thing in the world. You bring him in as a killer. You bring him in as just a complete badass who, you know, is just a monster and, you know, is out for himself. But that doesn't mean going out of your way to attack baby faces. So I don't know if this is a story that's played out on Being the Elite. I don't know if this is a story that's played out on Dark. If it is, then I kind of feel out the loop with it. So I'm a bit confused by this. But Miro versus Brian Pillman Jr. will obviously get a better read as to what's happening there later today when they face. Brit Baker and Reba are going to be taking on Vikki Guerrero and Nyla Rose. This could be fun. It's going to be interesting to see Vikki Guerrero competing, or she might not compete. She might get tagged in and then just tag straight back out again or something, but should be fun all the same. It's a different kind of match, but one that's got a bit of intrigue to it. Like, we don't see Vikki Guerrero competing, so I'm kind of down for seeing that. I really like Brit Baker. I like Reba. Nyla Rose is alright. She's never really done it for me, but it's a bit of interest here. And then Young Bucks versus Penta and Eddie Kingston. There could be a couple more things announced than that, but that's what I saw pretty much. So that's what we've got in store for the show. And it looks all right. Maybe looks a little bit better than what I thought the NXT card looked. I certainly think Sammy Guevara MJF is pay-per-view worthy. So to have that on this show, I think could be a lot of fun. And as we said, Jungle Boy coming off a big match last week. Be interesting to see how they continue with him. Andrade teasing this surprise, so a bit of intrigue there. So there's a few things here that I'm quite interested in, so we'll see how it goes. William, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Miss Clown, shout out to you. Calvin said, days tomorrow is going to be a sad day. My gran has only a few more hours to live. Is that true, Calvin? I'm really sorry to hear that, buddy. I'm really sorry to hear that. I've been through that as well. I've lost my grandparents, all of them. So it's very, very difficult. So thoughts are absolutely with you. Vape Ross Vape said, are we getting Cial Guerrero or the Trinidad? Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying it will be Zelina. But I honestly don't know. I mean, the way they're teasing it, it feels like it is going to be a big deal. The way they're teasing it, it feels like it is going to be something substantial. And I would feel like Zelina would be the bigger one there. I would be very surprised if it doesn't go that way, to be honest. I'll be very surprised if she's not the one that comes in. But I don't know. I saw people saying Roosh as well. There was a few rumours that it could be Roosh. So we'll have to wait and see. LSW said, I'm interested to see how being back on a Wednesday will affect AEW's ratings. I have gotten information in front of me right now in regards to ratings. I've got the numbers from Saturday, and we are looking at 697,000 for Saturday, apparently. 697,000, and that is up on an average of 500,000 for what we've been getting on a Friday. So it looks like very much they're going to be pleased to get back to a Wednesday. Saturday's numbers were, 690,000 against an NBA game, the finals. I kind of think that's not too bad, I suppose. But it's better than the Friday has been. The Friday's been really late. So I think they're just going to be really pleased to be back on a Wednesday. But a lot of people are saying, does that not bode so well for the new AEW Rampage show? Because, of course, that's going to be on that Friday slot, isn't it? So bottom line is this. The Friday and Saturday ratings, nowhere near as good as what they get on a Wednesday. So just worth bearing that in mind. Bonkers says Nuno at Spurs, Benitez at Everton, Sancho deal done at Man United. Wrestle with Andy said, I missed having your streams on during the day. We need to get more days now. Wrestle with Andy, shout out to you. Saw you dropped a new video today, but haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But I saw the Rikishi one that came out, so it looks really good. Yeah, I must admit, after yesterday and the emotion of the England game, I'm sort of pleased there wasn't anything today. Today was a good day to just go, right, let's take a breath there. Let's take a breath. I actually woke up with intentions of doing loads. I was like, right, I could get that done. I could tidy up that. I could sort the thumbnails. There's just always stuff to do. There's always stuff to do. I never have nothing to do. But I just didn't get any of it done. I just kept watching reactions to the England thing and watching what people were saying, and I was a bit behind on wrestling news, and I was just going through my notifications on Twitter, and before you know it, 3-4 hours have gone, and it's wow, I need to start setting up the stream here. You have something to eat or whatever, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, it's been nice to just have a bit of a breather. But I do feel like I've sort of wasted the day a little bit. But I don't feel bad about it, you know. It's been great, actually, watching a few YouTube videos just from, like, Sky Sports and just seeing what people are saying. I've had a look at, like, Talk Sport and heard some of the people calling in and what their thoughts were. And there's just a real buzz in the country right now. A real buzz. Like, it was the big story on the news last night. It was the big story on all the breakfast shows today. The whole country is talking about it. There's a feeling in the air in the UK right now, which is very difficult to describe. But it does remind me of, like, Euro 96. I am getting those vibes. Obviously, it could all go wrong on Saturday if we get knocked out to the Ukraine, but we'll have to see. You know, there's a lot of excitement, and I really just want to drink as much of it in as possible at the moment. So, yeah, brilliant. Just brilliant. It's been brilliant watching a lot of the reactions to the game and all of that, so... Miro has never been a face in AEW. I thought he was when he stood up to Lance Archer. Wasn't Lance Archer and Jake the Snake, weren't they the heels in that feud? And he was the face when they faced off at, was it Double or Nothing? He certainly came across as a face to me in that. Dave Meltzer has said that Fiend and Goldberg are always on the bench for Lashley at SummerSlam. No mention of Brock. Even if we don't get Brock, we still have Edge, Cena, hopefully Becky. Kenny said, I've sent you a DM concerning the AEW ratings. Well, we literally just spoke about those, so I can have a look at that DM. Let's ping back. Were they recent, or was this a while? Oh, here we go. TNT on Saturday night, Prime 8:10 was second only to the NBA, ninth for the day behind 6 NBA-related shows, and afternoon European Championship, Soccer and NASCAR. If you include the DVR, it's way ahead of NASCAR. Okay. I mean, it's still down on a Wednesday, though, isn't it? If you look at the numbers, it's 600. I wrote it down actually. 649 is the exact number. So 649 in comparison to the over million that they were getting not that long ago on a Wednesday. I mean, I think they started at 1.2. They went down to 1.1. I think it then started to bob underneath like a million and was around the 900,000 mark. So I don't know, maybe there could be some truth in people don't watch as much TV on a Saturday or so. I don't know. I doubt it. But I don't know, dude. I kind of look at it and think, you know, the numbers have been poor on a Friday. They were poor on a Saturday. And I think they'll be very relieved to get back to a Wednesday. And there must be question marks being asked about the AEW Rampage show. Not in regards to, should we cancel it? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in regards to what do we need to do to make this a respectable number? Like, do they need to even beef it up even more than they were planning in order to make sure people tune in? Or there has to be a little bit of concern there because those numbers, the Friday ones in particular, were pretty poor. So, we'll see. Your Urban Dictionary, you get to see the definition they've put for you. I don't know what that means, buddy. Great news about Sancho. Brilliant news about Sancho. Yes, really, really pleased about that. I think, was it Chalmers that got in touch with me earlier and said, how'd you feel about it? And I was like, Man United have got a fantastic ability to suck all the joy out of a transfer. Like, Sancho being announced makes you go, brilliant, we've got him. But I'm not dancing in the streets over it because this has been going on for like, well, I was desperate for him last year, and granted, we've paid less now. But for me, the central defensive midfielder is actually more important. I kind of think that with Ahmad and with Greenwood, we can kind of scrape by with the right wing, but I don't know that we can scrape by with Lindelof and with playing McTominay and Fred. I kind of feel like those are the areas we need to fix. So I'm really pleased it's done. I'm really pleased that we've got him. but I really want to move on now and focus on the areas that I'm probably more concerned about as a Man United fan. But there's no denying it's great news. And considering how much we would have spent for him last year, to get him for like 70-odd million, if you haven't heard, Man United have signed a brand new player. It's not been announced, but it's done. Everyone knows it's done. It's been like all the rumour sites are saying it's done. Even Sky Sports News are saying it's done. Everyone's saying it's done apart from Man United. He's going to cost 72 million. It's Jadon Sancho. For England, coming from Dortmund, and it's a big signing, big signing. So I am pleased it's done, because I really hope it means we can move on to other things. Daniel said, this is the last show at Daly's place for a while, as AEW will go to Miami next week for their first show on the road in over a year. Dave said, Man United buy another winger when they need a better defender. Well, I mean, I think they'll get a few different people in, to be honest. I think that I'm pleased they've got this done so early, because that says that, right, he's in. What do we need to do now? We've still got the rest of the transfer window, so it is good. I mean, there's no denying it is good. I'm certainly not down on it, but I'm also not, like, punching the air, doing cartwheels around the room and everything, because Man United have just got this ability to suck joy out of transfers. Like, if we got linked to Jadon Sancho a couple of weeks ago and now we've just bought him, that would be insane. But we all summer, last summer, we were trying to get him and we didn't. And then so far, it's been reported for the past 3 weeks that we're going to get him. And then today we finally get him. So you just kind of go, God, if anything, I'm just exhausted. I'm just like, good, right, let's move on. Let's go on to something else now. But he'll shift some shirts, definitely. Hopefully he plays more for Man United than he is for England. Edward said, how has your day been? It's been all right, thank you. Yeah, it's been all right. I haven't really done a great deal. I woke up about, 6 hours ago. And I had good amount of sleep, about good 8 hours of sleep, actually. And as I said, in that time, I was just, on YouTube watching a few reactions to yesterday, reading a few articles, and trying to catch up on a bit of wrestling news, which, in all fairness, there hasn't been tons. I mean, the bits that I've got written down is apparently Team Taz is going to deliver some breaking news tonight. So Team Taz is going to come out with something. I don't know if that's going to be a big deal or not. We've got the ratings that we just touched on for AEW. Jungle Boy and Anna Jay. There's a picture doing the rounds of them smooching. So looks like they're an item. And then, of course, we got to see the photo of the new baby, Cody and Brandy, and their new child, whatever it's called. So, is it Nora, or is Nora a different one? That might be the name of, Renee Young's baby. I don't know. There's a Nora in there. Maybe it's Nora and Ethel. I don't know. So there's certainly a name from the war times in there, but I don't know if that's the Cody one or the John Moxley one, or might even be the Becky one. I mean, there's babies everywhere. Can't turn around in wrestling for babies at the moment. So obviously that picture came out, and it's cute. It's a cute baby. As babies go, it's cute. I've got no issues with the baby. And obviously the news about Seth and Becky getting married as well. So if you're a fan of babies, if you're a fan of weddings, if you're a fan of all of that kind of stuff, wrestling is the place to be right now. So very exciting. Nora Batty, that's it. That's the one. That's it. Nora Batty. Completely agree, Days. As a Liverpool fan, the Sancho deal doesn't concern me. If you had a world-class CDM and another centre-back with Maguire, I would be concerned. Well, shout out to you, Daniel. I'm sure you guys are going to be in for some world-class players as well. And obviously, Tottenham are going to be looking for some people. Haaland rumoured to go to Chelsea, and City rumoured to be buying pretty much everyone. Apparently they're going to spend 100 million on Grealish and do a deal and spend 100 million on Kane. So, I don't know. I think Man City want the England team. Well, they can't have Sancho, I can tell you that much, because he's just gone to Man United. So, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a very interesting summer. Lauren said, Brandy baby is Liberty, Renee's baby is Nora, and Becky's baby is Roex. So, there we go. Liberty, Nora, Roex. Fantastic collection of names right there. Liberty, Iris. There we go. Iris. We've got a Nora. We've got an Iris. I'm sure there's a Gladys knocking around. There might be an Ethel somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant. Someone's broken out the ye oldie lady name book, haven't they? And they've given it to a load of wrestlers. Rick E245 says, Days, I don't know if you saw the list for WWE's 50 greatest tag teams. The New Day are number 1. What would your thoughts be on that, says Ricky? Well, I don't think the New Day are number 1. Straight away, I don't think that. I mean, does it surprise me? No, because they've been the most dominant team of, the past few years, and perhaps they're genuinely trying to put the talent over. Perhaps they're trying to, play into, current storylines with Kofi. I mean, they're certainly top 10, right? So it's not like such a big leap. It's not as if they've gone and put the Dirty Dogs at number 1 or anything, or Lucha House Party at number 1. It's not so out there that you're going to go, well, that's just insane. This whole thing's a joke. Why have they done it? Like, for me, they're not, as I said. I don't see how you put them over the Road Warriors. I mean, it's just a complete rewriting of history. I don't know how you put them over the Rock and Roll Express. And there's probably many other teams I could think of as well, like Hardys, Dudleys. But I would still say they're a top 10 team. But, I reckon it's just, is it to sell merch? Is it to get people to tune into Raw? Because you might see the greatest ever tag team. Like, guess what? The greatest ever tag team are still around. Like, they're still around. If you tune into Mondays, you can see the greatest ever tag team. They're not doing tag team stuff at the moment, but you can still tune in and see them. So, is it that? I'm not sure. Or do they genuinely believe that they are the best tag team of all time? I again, not sure. But I don't even think they're the best tag team in WWE history, let alone wrestling history. I don't actually know. I don't know the wording of it. Is it the best tag team in wrestling or WWE? If it's WWE, it's still not them. And if it's wrestling, well, it's still not them. So... But as I said, it's not so out there. It's not so out there that you look at it and go, this is madness. This whole thing's a disgrace. Like, I'd have them in my top 10, but I wouldn't have them at number 1. Interesting, though. I haven't seen the list. So, actually, we can have a look at that in a second, and we'll have a look at the list and see what the rest of it looks like. At a guess, I genuinely haven't seen the list. But at a guess, I would imagine, oh, please, the Legion of Doom has to be in there. If it's WWE, Legion of Doom has to be in there. So I'd hope they're top 10. Dudleys have got to be in there. Hardys have got to be in there. They might want to tip the cap to the Usos. They might want to do that. I would hope that like the Hart Foundation would be in there. I think they're one of the best teams ever, Hart Foundation. Bulldogs, maybe. Edge and Christian, maybe. New Age Outlaws, maybe. Rockers, maybe not. I reckon Rockers will be in the top 50, but not top 10. But those are the sort of names that are coming to mind. Demolition, top 50, but not top 10. I'd be very interested to see if they've got any of the older teams, like Ray Stevens and Pat Patterson. Wild Samoans. I'd be very interested to see if they make it in there. You've got other teams as well that won't be in the top 10, but will still deserve to be mentioned, like Nasty Boys, Steiner Brothers, Natural Disasters. there's Killer Bees. Like, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. But I wouldn't expect them to be in top 10, but I'd expect them to get mentioned. We'll have a look. We'll have a look in a second. Daniel said, Days, I hope your day is going well. Would you like to see Aleister Black, Braun Strowman, or Buddy Murphy come to AEW? Imagine the crowd pops. Yeah, I'd like to see Aleister Black go. I think, I mean, I can't believe that he got released, to be honest. Strowman, he's a difficult one, Strowman. He's a big guy. He looks good. He was never amazing in the ring. You were never going to get a 5-star match out of him. Part of that may be because of how he was being used, running around the ring, doing the choo-choo stuff. And his moves are a bit limited. He's just a big, powerful guy, but his matches never really had, like, the psychology of a Brock match. Brock's matches are actually quite good at times. Didn't really ever feel that way with Braun matches. So I kind of think that with Braun, it wouldn't surprise me if he left wrestling altogether. I said that before. I think Braun might have some other interests that he wants to pursue. I kind of feel like Braun's a strong man that got into wrestling. He's not a wrestler, if that makes sense. So if they offer him a load of money, he might do it, and they'll get some out of him. But I don't know. Braun, I'm a bit torn on. Braun. Buddy Murphy is really cool. Buddy Murphy can give you great, great matches. He would just need a character, really. I mean, Aleister Black, I feel like he's got a gimmick. He's clearly a great striker. He's got that kind of kickboxing ability. He's like MMA trained. He, as we said, fantastic striker, but not just with his hands, like primarily with his feet. I mean, not even thinking Black Mass, just the way that he can attack the body at all different levels. His gimmick was very dark as well. I think he was a very interesting person. And I think that his gimmick could have been very interesting. And they don't necessarily have like a dark persona that could really work in AEW. They've got Abaddon, but Abaddon, we don't see her that much, and she's been out injured for a while, and she seems to be a little bit too far for me. Like, she's a bit like the Boogeyman far. Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel that Aleister Black could be like a cult leader. He could be very dark. He could come out, I suppose, a little bit like what Brody Lee was trying to do. The only thing was they turned the Dark Order into a comedy group. So he was kind of playing the straight role, and then he was surrounded by idiots. And so the whole thing became a bit of a comedy thing. But at first, I think that he was, trying to be the exalted one. He was trying to be a cult leader. He was trying to be a little bit dark. But I don't know. I don't know if it stayed that way. But they could definitely explore doing something like that with Aleister Black. So I do like Buddy Murphy, but I'm not sure what you bring him in as or what his gimmick is. Braun, I'm not sure if he's really into wrestling, to be honest. So I don't know what you get out of him. And you've got to use him right, and he's a bit limited. I think Aleister Black's the one to go for, personally. Good question, though, Daniel. And Rick E., shout out to you. We will have a look at that list right now, actually. I want to have a look at the top 50, because I haven't seen it. Let's ping it up. Right, 50 tag teams. The top 50, WWE's 50 greatest tag teams. In the final episode of WWE's 50 Greatest Tag Teams. Now, this is a little bit loose. WWE's 50 Greatest Tag Teams. Does that mean... Oh, here we go. Teams from other promotions were not listed, but they were listed in a different segment. What the flip? What the flip? I don't even know what that means. So they didn't include teams from other promotions. But they did mention them. All right, let's go to it. Okay. New Day, Hardy Boys, Hart Foundation, Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, Legion of Doom. They went with the Usos. They went with New Age Outlaws, Brothers of Destruction, and the British Bulldogs. Well, do you know what? we pretty much mentioned them all. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they went with the Usos. I could see them chucking them in. I think they'd want a couple of current teams. Brothers of Destruction, I definitely forgot about. Bulldogs, I didn't think they'd put them that high, you know. I didn't think they'd put them that high. Demolition at 11. Mega Powers at 13. Flip. What? The Mega Powers? Hogan and Randy Savage? They were only together for like 1 year. And not even the full year. I don't know about that. Valiant Brothers, that's great. That's a great shout. We were talking about some of the older ones. Valiant Brothers, they've put them in at 12. Wild Samoans, they've put in at 15. Steiners at 17. Tanaka and Mr. Fuji, Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas, the first black tag team, I think, to win the tag team titles. Undisputed Era at 20. The 20th greatest tag team never got out of NXT. Well, better than the Shield. What? What are you on about? Better than the Shield. The Undisputed Era. Better than the Shield. Not for me. I mean, it's a great one to debate. It's a really great one to debate because you've got Undisputed Era, DX, and The Shield at 20, 21, and 22. Those three are all... You could put them in any order, I suppose. It's not the order I would choose. But, I mean, The Shield that competed at, like, big pay-per-views that gave us Roman and Seth and Dean Ambrose and, I mean, really carried Raw and was, like, all over the main roster. Had wars with, like, Evolution and New Day, and just, they faced loads. Wyatt family. They did loads. Behind a team that didn't get out of NXT. I mean, in fairness, even though I say that, they were NXT. They are NXT. I'd say they're probably the biggest thing to have ever happened in NXT, the Undisputed Era. They were obviously all over the show, and they lasted longer. But it's strange to see, because you get called up, so it's strange to see WWE put in a team that never got out of NXT higher than all these teams that, you know, made such an impression on the main roster and did so much stuff. I mean, Street Profits at 34 is a joke. Shouldn't it be in this list at all? Bushwhackers at 50, I love the Bushwhackers. Nasty Boys, Rated RKO. London and Kendrick deserve a place. World's Greatest Tag Team, yeah. Jericho is in there as well. There's a lot here that I like, in all fairness. There's a lot here that I like. But there's a couple of things in there that I'm a bit like, New Day at 1 I don't agree with. I mean, I agree with them being in top 10, but I wouldn't have them at 1. Love the Valiant Brothers being in there. Mega Powers doesn't make much sense to me. Rock and Sock in there I think's good. Steiners are good. I love the respect to the older ones. I think it's brilliant. And there's loads of old... I mean, we've got Jack and Gerald Briscoe in here at number 32, which is brilliant to see. So a lot of respect being paid to a lot of the older teams. Nasty Boys at 41. Kane and X-Pac. Head Shrinkers at 45. Strike Force at 46. And No Killer Bees. How dare they? No Killer Bees, which isn't the biggest loss in the world, but I liked them. I like the Killer Bees. Bushwhackers. I wonder, where's Demolition? Is there no Demolition? Oh, yeah, they're 11, yeah. Okay. Woo! I mean, I know they've got issues with Demolition. I thought for a second, I don't know why, I thought they'd thrown some proper shade. I thought shade had been thrown. Is there anyone, like, massive that's missing? Is there anyone that people think is massively missing? Von Erichs, Ryan, is a good shout, but I don't think they're counting non-WWE. There's no Rock and Roll Express, for example. So I don't think they're counting non-WWE. Heavenly Bodies were, kind of cool. I don't know if they'd be top 50, though. Kabuki Warriors. Oh, yeah, what about the women? Yeah, that's a good shout. What about the women? Richie, shout out to you. Where did the Bulldogs come? They were, amazingly, number 10. Which does genuinely amaze me. I didn't think that WWE had as much love for the Bulldogs as what they've shown here. But saying that, who's come up with this anyway? Is this voted for by the fans, or have they just had a bit of a whip around at the office? In fairness, if this is... No, it can't be. This can't be the fans. You can't tell me that they asked the fans and the Valiant brothers came in at number 12. No way. I don't believe this is the fans. RK Bro Art missing. Hardy Boys and Owen and Davey for my number 1, says Wrestle with Andy. James Chadwick said Bushwhackers, they just sneak in at 50. Powers of Pain is a good shout. I didn't see Powers of Pain. That was a decent shout. New Age Outlaws are at 8. Blackjacks at 23. I'm guessing this doesn't include WCW because I've got no Harlem Heat. So this must just be strictly WWE. It's just WWE's opinion. Ivan and Nikita Koloff. Again, they're just keeping it WWE. Los Guerreros is 25. Kane and Mankind? I don't think so. Not that I can see, no. Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA? Again, just WWE. I don't know how to keep stressing this. Beverly Brothers. Oh, the Beverly Brothers. Yeah, not there. No Beverly Brothers. Do you know what? They were so underrated. I hated them as a kid. I thought they were boring. But I go back and watch them now, and they're really crisp. Really crisp, really good, really solid. Go about their business well. I rate the Beverly Brothers. Smoking Guns have got him. They've snuck in at number 47. So they've managed to get in there. Just trying to think of other teams from around that. Oh, Steiners were in there. Where did the Steiners come again? Steiners 17. I mean, I feel like they've got the big ones. Do you know what I mean? Fair play. I think that I think that this could have been really botched. Looking at the list, this could have been really messed up. But I kind of feel like it's there or thereabouts. I would imagine, like most people, there's just a few things I disagree with. But by and large, looking at the overall list, kind of go, all right. It's all right. APA's in there, yeah. They're number 24. Natural Disasters are 34. Tony Guerrero and Larry Zbyszko. No, too far back. Well, I say too far back, but they have got teams going back that far. But no, they didn't make the top 50. APA, yeah, 24. Bulldog and Owen, 30. Earthquake and Typhoon is the Natural Disasters. That is, did I say 34? 34. Tito Santana and Rick Martel, that's Strike Force. And they are 46. Cody and Goldust, no. No Cody and Goldust. They didn't have a tag name, did they? I can't remember them having a tag name. I think they were just Stardust and Goldust, weren't they? Didn't he go with the Ascension for a time, and they were called the Cosmic Cosmos or something? I can't remember what they were called. I mean, they wouldn't make this list. We're just going off onto a different conversation now, but I'm just saying. Is this man there is John Cena and David Otunga? Amazingly not. Did Owen and Yoko make an appearance? They surely did. They surely do. They should be on this. That might be one of the biggest misses, if not. Well, do you know what? I mean, they've got Bulldog and Owen. They've got Bulldog and Owen. No, they're not. I can't see Yokozuna and Owen. I would have thought they were a big deal. It's difficult though, because who do you take out? I mean, I wouldn't want to lose the Bushwhackers. Would you lose the Quebecers for them? Maybe. Yeah, it's all right. I'm not against it. If you want to find it, it's just on. Just go to Google. Just search top 50 tag teams. I think it's all right. Paul Scholes and Roy Keane. I've not seen them. That is a great tag team, though. I'm a big fan of Ferdinand and Vidic also. Cole and York. Brilliant tag team. Sterling and Kane, the greatest tag team ever. Rashford and Sancho. They'll be on there next time. They've just got to have a season together first. Coco and Owen, high energy. Do you know, you could probably fill this top 50 just with Owen Hart tag teams, couldn't you? Owen and Yoko, Owen and Coco, Owen and Bulldog. Just like you could just fill this with all Owen Hart tag teams. The Wyatt family should be on there. Well, they sort of are. I mean, not as the Wyatt family, but at number 31, we've got Bludgeon Brothers / Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. So, Harper and Rowan are on there. So it's Bludgeon Brothers / Harper and Rowan. New Day number 1, yes. Mega Powers, yes. Days, can you take out the Street Profits? We could certainly start a campaign to see them lose their spot. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they should. Street Profits are not one of the top. If the Street Profits, who have been on the main roster for a couple of years, really haven't done anything of note. They might have like a title run, but if they did, it was, well, they definitely did, and it was definitely awful. If we're honestly saying what they've done, only 32 tag teams in the history of WWE have done more, have had more impact. Then I think tag team wrestling should probably we should forget it. We should forget it, because they've done nothing for me, and they're apparently the 33rd best tag team ever. So Miz and Morrison are at 29. So hey ho ho is what I've got to say to that. No Orient Express. That's a great shout. Yeah, I haven't seen the Orient Express. That's a really good shout, Orient Express. No Brainbusters. Oh, that's a big one, Kenny. That's a big one. Now, I wouldn't have had them high. Oh, yeah, come on. Come on, this is ridiculous. No Brainbusters. We haven't got Brainbusters, but we've got Street Profits. Alright, I thought this list was alright, but the more you guys are coming up with teams, now I'm starting to go, yeah, no, it turns out this is trash. Brainbusters should be there. Orient Express was a good shout as well. And I like the Owen Yoko shout as well. You've done it. You've done it. You've shown this up. You've shown this list up. This list, it's confirmed to be a sham right now. It's a sham. Turns out WWE don't know anything about wrestling. The actual number 1 is FTR. There is no Revival on this list. The Revival don't make it. Luke Gallows and Anderson. No, but I don't know if I'd have them anyway, to be honest. Money Inc. make it. They just get in. Number 36. I thought it was a bit lower than that, actually, but number 36. How long have we got? We got 15 minutes. If you are just joining us, we spoke about it earlier. Let me just quickly recap again. Andrade has got a surprise. We don't know what the surprise is. Hopefully it's going to be a lovely surprise and we're all going to be super happy. We've got Sammy Guevara taking on MJF. We've got Jungle Boy taking on Jack Evans. We've got Miro taking on Brian Pillman Jr. We've got Brit Baker and Reba taking on Vikki Guerrero and Nyla Rose. We've got the Young Bucks taking on Penta and Eddie Kingston. As well as that, Team Taz has got some breaking news, but I don't know how big of a deal that is. So we'll find out in less than 15 minutes to go. Viking Experience were screwed. I love those guys. The 1 week that they had was fantastic. The Viking Experience. What about Legion of Doom Road Warriors, says Alex. I tell you what, this has captured the imagination, hasn't it? Seems like people in the chat are very much into this list. Yes, they are there. They made it to number 6, which it's a little bit tricky with the Legion of Doom, because I kind of feel like if you're just going to look at the Legion of Doom, then I suppose I can understand them being a little lower down. But if you include the Road Warrior stuff as well, which was them outside of WWE, they are undeniably number 1 in my opinion. Dudley Boys at 5 might be a bit of a surprise. They could probably do with being a bit higher. Heart Foundation, I'm surprised they're as high as what they are at 3. I would have thought they would have been just a touch lower down. Heart Foundation were brilliant. They were fantastic. But I think like Bret kind of eclipsed them, and I kind of think that there's some teams like the Dudleys that probably deserve to be a bit higher. Kyle said, do you think Team Hell No should have made the list? They did. They were number 27. Would I have put them on there? Maybe not as high as 27. I did like them. I thought they were very good together. I think they provided some really fun segments, and they were a very good team. They had a good dynamic, Daniel Bryan and Kane. But I mean, they trying to see who they're ahead of. They're ahead of who would I have dropped them down for? I mean, personally, I wouldn't have minded them being behind Strikeforce. I wouldn't have minded them being behind Bulldog and Owen. I certainly wouldn't have minded them being behind Jack and Gerald Briscoe, who are absolute legends. So I do think there's a few teams. I could probably find 5-6 teams that they probably could have gone behind. So I probably would have put Team Hell No on this list. I think they make my top 50, but they're kind of more 35 to 50 rather than 27. So no major complaints there. Yeah, I'd probably have them on my list. Rick E245 says, do you think the Headbangers should be on the list? I was never their biggest fan, to be honest. They were... The one guy was a jobber. I can't remember his name. He was a jobber for quite a bit, and then they were trying to find a gimmick for them, and they were known as something like the Flying Nuns for a little while, and then they settled on them being the Headbangers. It was an interesting gimmick, and it kind of caught on during the Attitude Era, but I don't know that, like, technically, in-ring wise, they were all that great. I think their gimmick worked for the Attitude Era, and I think that they... I suppose they had an impact. Let's put it this way. They're not there, and I don't miss them. If they were there, and they were low down, I wouldn't mind so much. But I think anything above 40... it wouldn't make any sense to me. Headbangers would probably make my top 100. They might make my top 70. Maybe. But I don't think they would make my top 50, personally. Because as I said, I'm trying to remember if they did win the tag titles. And I think they did win the tag titles. But they weren't like a technically brilliant team. They were just like a good gimmick. It was just a good gimmick for the Attitude Era. So I think there were better teams that had more of an impact, to be honest. I think I could easily find 50 teams that had a bigger impact than what the Headbangers had. But it's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. You know, they had a good gimmick. They're a known team from the Attitude Era. So, yeah, not a bad shout. So, Kyle, Ricky, shout out to you. Scroll down. Quebecca's on the list. This has now turned into me just telling you what's on the list. I hope... All of a sudden now, I've just turned into, like, admin. Quebecca's on the list. Yes, number 48. Headbangers should be glad just to make the top 100, says Son of Grace. Kane and X-Pac somewhere low down. I think they were on there, but a little higher than low down, were they? Kane and... Oh, no, they were low down, sorry. 44. I remember seeing them on there. They're 44. Where is Jericho and Owens? Not on there. Not on there. Is FBI on the list? No. None of the police departments made it, unfortunately. Have you ever heard of the Mulkey brothers? I think they only won one match in their career. I can't say I'm familiar with that. Let me just have a quick search. The Mulkey brothers. The Mulkeys win a match. The Midnight Express versus Randy and Bill Mulkey. Why the Mulkey brothers are the greatest jobbers of all time. Throughout wrestling history, there's been plenty of jobbers that have put over great names. Most of these jobbers are no names that time has forgotten. But on the other hand, there are some that time remembers. But I want to mention who I think are the greatest jobbers of all time. In the 80s, there was a bunch of great tag teams. We had the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, the Fabulous Freebirds. The list goes on and on. The one thing that most of these teams had in common was at one time or another, they had to step in the ring with the worst tag team ever, the Mulkey Brothers. Their record was 0-180 before they had a match with a team called the Gladiators. The Gladiators look like jobbers themselves. George South was a jobber. Gary Royal, I don't know. I remember of the hype these promo videos aired for a month. It came down to this match, a qualifying match for the Jim Crockett Memorial Tag Team Tournament, and it had the heavily favoured Gladiators taking on the Mulkey Brothers. Everyone thought the Mulkey Brothers had no shot at victory, but then the impossible happened. The Mulkeys won. I couldn't believe it as I watched the TV. After years of getting beat, the Mulkeys actually won a match, and they qualified for the Jim Crockett Memorial Tag Team Tournament. Afterwards, Mulkey Mania was born. Unfortunately, the Mulkeys lost in the first round. Apparently, they resurfaced on an NWA Legends of Wrestling tour in 2007. That's cool, isn't it? No, I've never heard of them. But then, to be honest, my knowledge of old non-WWE is not brilliant because I wasn't raised watching the territories. So NWA stuff and the history of the NWA is something that I constantly have to try and, work on. So that's an interesting one. I've not heard of the Mulkeys, but I know of them now. They went 0 for 180. They lost 180 matches and then finally won one against the Gladiators. R2 Cool on the list. Yes, they're number 49. Where is Taker and Fake Taker? Well, they never teamed together. So that would make it difficult. LSW says, Mulkey Brothers, that is interesting. The more you know. Jennifer says, my number one is the Hart Foundation. They became a huge staple and became the Hart Dynasty too. Kane and Imposter Kane, unfortunately not, no. Edward, shout out to you. Can't have that list and not have the world's greatest tag team. They're on there. They're number 37. Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas. Best jobbers ever were Barry Horowitz and the Brooklyn Brawler. I always thought Deuce and Domino were underrated. It's just people like firing in teams now. Firing in teams. Austin says, where's Kane and fake Kane? Well, Brothers of Destruction were number 9. Los Conquistadors, says Andres Lopez. No Los Conquistadors, unfortunately. Slater and Rhino. No, you mean the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Slater and Rhino? Apparently not. No. Apparently there's room for Edge and Christian, but there's not room for Slater and Rhino. Days, surely Seth and Braun are on the list. No, and neither is Braun and Nicholas. Undefeated at WrestleMania. Beat the Bar. They beat the Bar. They beat the team that is number 28 on this list. Braun and Nicholas. Nicholas being forced into early retirement because of school. They have not made this list either. It's absolutely appalling. The disrespect. When will this disrespect of Nicholas stop? When will this disrespect towards Nicholas stop? Days, I hope you know that I'm just naming any tag team. Where is Brodus Clay? And he's not on there. Did Nexus make it? No. I think they might be classed as like a faction. I don't know if they would be classed as a tag team. Wasn't it? Who was the tag team that they did have compete? Was it Atunga and McGillicuddy? It might have been Atunga and McGillicuddy that used to compete as a tag team, but either way, they didn't make it either. La Resistance. There's no La Resistance. Men on a Mission. I thought they were on there, but I can't see them. But in all fairness, they were pretty awful. Do you have any speculation on who or what the NXT Charger is on the BT Sport after commercials? I don't, Bud. No, I don't. It's not just BT that's seeing it. It's going out around the world. It's part of the show. So it is definitely teasing a new arrival. But considering they teased Diamond Mine and Diamond Mine has turned into what Diamond Mine is, I'm just going to wait and see. Do you know what I mean? Not overly hyped for it. I mean, it's difficult with Diamond Mine because we asked yesterday are people hyped for it. It was quite split. Like, do people like Diamond Mine? And they were like, yeah. There was quite a few no's. There was a few yeses. There was quite a few we'll see how it goes. But I think what we can agree on is that Diamond Mine hasn't smashed it out the park. Like, it's not like the arrival of Undisputed Era, where that really felt like the changing of a guard. Really felt like the whole show was changing. And I think part of that is because they're not necessarily new arrivals. Like bringing in like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Adam Cole, they're big names. Whereas the leader of this group is Roderick Strong, and obviously we've seen him before. Tyler Rust we've seen before as well. I don't know that Suzuki has been on the show before. I don't believe he has. So I think that's kind of hurt them a little. But as well as that, I think they seem to be going after like the Cruiserweight title. So I think like if they'd attacked Carrion, then that would have had a bigger splash as well. So yeah, I mean, if you think how long they built up the hype for Diamond Mine, I kind of feel like we'll see what happens with this battery thing. We'll see what happens. I don't want to put cold water on it, but we'll see what happens. It could be something amazing, but I haven't heard any rumours of anything amazing. I think it just might be the arrival of a performance centre recruit that they've got and maybe a new gimmick they've got, or the return of like a Ridge Holland, but the battery thing wouldn't make sense. Could be the return of Tegan Knox, but again, I don't quite see how the battery thing makes any sense. Unless she's literally going to come back as a robot because she's had that many injuries. She's got like, do you know what I mean? She's going to look like the woman out of Alien. You know, when she's in that big structure. That'd be quite cool. But but I don't know if you charge them the same way as you would like a mobile phone. Perhaps you'll come out dressed as a mobile phone. Perhaps they've taken sponsorship to the next level, and now, like, Tegan Nox is going to come back looking like a Motorola. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Very excited to find out, though. Right, with that being said, we're going over to Dynamite. Dynamite. Oh, alarm fans, you got the alarm. Hey, you got the alarm. They'll be celebrating in the streets. AEW Live, I'm Jim Ross. Someone's got a sparkly sign. Green shirt guy doesn't want the smoke. Oh! Shots fired! Shots fired to green shirt guy! Psh, 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 psh. Someone's got a sign that said green shirt guy doesn't want the smoke. Wow! This war between AEW and WWE needs to settle down because it's getting out of control. It's getting out of control. I will not have shots fired to green shirt guy. Let me tell you. Unbelievable. Green shirt guy doesn't want the smoke. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. We represent green shirt guy right here. We're going to stick up for him. I want to see what people are saying. Has people picked up on it? Surely they did. They showed it on screen forever. Green shirt. I've Googled on Twitter, which I don't even know if you can do that. But I've gone on Twitter and I've searched green shirt. No one's talking about it right now. No one's talking about it. Green shirt guy. Still, no one is talking about it. We are the only community that is talking about it right now. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Why is Cavani trending? Cavani wants the number 7 shirt. Oh, there's going to be a battle for the number 7 shirt. Right. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, Jericho's on commentary. Here is Clown Man and Eddie Kingston. Kingston and Penta. Who are they facing? Is it the Bucks? Yeah. Tony Hawk is in the audience. I hope I meet Green Shirt Guy when I go to SmackDown. I hope you do as well. I hope that Green Shirt Guy is on his way over to Daly's place right now, and as soon as that guy with the sign leaves, I hope he messes him up. I hope he absolutely messes him up. I hope he shanks him. Like in prison, I hope he's... Green Shirt Guy just in the parking lot. Green Shirt Guy's like... You didn't think I was going to bring the smoke! That'd be sick. Right, Bucks have come out. They've got some facial hair. WWE. Listen, fire all the shots you want at Vince, but don't you come for Green Shirt Guy. There's Kyle as well, the Everton dude. There's Michael Nakazawa. There's Seth and Jason Jordan, Seth and Braun, Braun and Nicholas, Alexa and Nilly not on the list. Are you mad? Green Shirt Guy is going to destroy him. I tell you what. He'll be Red Shirt Guy after he gets his hands on him because he'll be dripping in that guy's blood. Yeah? If there's one thing I know about Green Shirt Guy, he is messed up in the head. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't know limits. He doesn't know when to stop. There's going to be people dragging him off like this. And he's like, don't tell me I don't want the smoke. I mean, look, maybe we went a bit far with that. I don't know. But I just really like the idea of Green Shirt Guy really messing someone up. And come on, we all know that video would trend all over Twitter. People want to see it. This pandemic's been hard on all of us, and it's just going to be really great to see a video like that, to be honest. As long as it's someone that deserves it. I'm not promoting violence. Look, guys, I'm not promoting violence against people that don't deserve it. But he started it. He brought that sign. That shot's fired. As far as I'm concerned, he's pretty much already thrown the first punch there. So are you on Twitter? Yes. And still, I've not seen anyone talk about it. We're the only people talking about it, and we still continue to talk about it. Do you know why? Because we can't get over the disrespect shown. Green Shirt Guy. Latest. Green Shirt Guy does it now. People are talking about it. Green Shirt Guy doesn't want the smoke. Lol, whoever has this sign, you're great. Shut up. You shut up. You don't know what Green Shirt Guy is capable of. I'm gonna mess him up, man. I'm gonna mess him up. Do you know what? Hashtag Green Shirt Guy would mess up that whole AEW crowd on his own. His green t-shirt would continue smiling as he effed each one of them up. Hashtag Team Green. Hashtag Team Green, baby. Retweet. Sent that out, guys. I've sent that out. I tell you, there's nothing worse than being beaten up by someone that's got a glow-in-the-dark green t-shirt that's smiling at you. Do you know what I mean? That's a hard image to get out your head, isn't it? As you're lying there with your nose broken, blood coming down your face, and someone's smashing you in the face, and you look up, and their t-shirt is smiling at you. Oh my God, the disrespect. Unbelievable. Hashtag Team Green. Hashtag Team Green. I won't stand for it, guys. I won't stand for it because he's not here to defend himself. And all these people are like, that's funny, isn't it? No, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's too far. He hasn't done anything. What's he done wrong? What's he done wrong? You want to fire shots at someone that can't fire them back? Oh, that's big, isn't it? That's big. That's big. It's not a nice little sign saying, I want to be... He could have held a sign saying, I want to be AEW's Green Shirt Guy. Couldn't he? I want to be... That would be nice. That's respectful. That's respectful. I hate this person. I don't know who it is, but I hate this person. That sign has deeply upset me. This match is underway, by the way. That's, I think I'm right in saying 10 minutes that we've spent on this. We probably should move on. We're not going to, but we probably should. I bet he's called Lily. Yeah. I bet he's called Lily. Eddie Kingston on the outside hurls Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson goes... Nick Jackson just ran over and pushed over Penta. He just literally ran over, went like that, and Penta went... Ooh. Penta went down. Just like that guy would go down if green shirt guy turned up. I want him to turn up. I hope he's on his way. That's a match I want to see. If AEW want to please their fans, give me that guy versus green shirt guy. Corey said, the guy holding the sign is a loser. Yeah! I mean, I don't want to be too disrespectful because he is a member of the public, you know? But he started it. I'm sorry, but if you're going to fire shots against someone who, to my knowledge, has never fired a shot in his life, he is just an innocent bystander, then don't expect, don't be surprised when criticism comes back your way. Is it me, or does green shirt guy kind of look like James Ellsworth? Maybe he's his dad. Someone needs to tell Nick he needs a double process to be blonde. Yep, someone should tell him you need to double process. You can't single process these things. Kicks to the midsection by Matt Jackson, wailing away on Eddie Kingston. Corey said that sign is a lie. Green shirt guy wants all of the smoke. Headlock here by Matt Jackson. Why do the Bucks look like White Goodman from the movie Dodgeball? Because they have both auditioned for the remake today. James Kenny said, never mind, Days, I'm good. Hopefully you've had a good day. Even if you annoy you, I do it for comedy. Look forward to your streams. We love you. Shout out to you. Hello, Days. How's the day been? It's been alright, buddy. It's been alright. Big chops coming in by Kingston. Low kick there by Matt Jackson. Knee strike by Nick Jackson. Goes over. Oh my God. Is this like, what's this? They just keep going over and nailing Penta, and Penta just keeps not defending himself. What is this? They just keep going over, hitting Penta, and Penta goes up. Down I go again. Days, did I ask you for a shout out? You didn't, Michael. No. Green shirt guy rules. Yeah. Days, the picture you posted of green shirt guy was from Survivor Series. I was there. I didn't know that I was that close to him. I didn't post that picture of the legend that is. I retweeted someone else. I bet it's John or Doria holding the sign, getting us back for UE breaking up. Oh, John Doria. Is he there? Is John there? Nah, John wouldn't do that. John knows that we all love green shirt guy in this community. He better take that back. The smile on green shirt guy's shirt will turn into anger in a heartbeat. Could you imagine that? Imagine if you were there and somehow green shirt guy was talking and you said something that upset him and his face didn't change, but his shirt changed. Imagine if you're talking and he's like this, and as he's smiling at you, his shirt goes red and the smile turns into a frown and he's still there like this. Oh man, someone needs to make that horror film. Coming this summer, green shirt guy is green shirt guy. Don't make him mad. Don't go to AEW Dynamite and hold up a sign that makes you look like a tool. Kick to the midsection by Penta. Dave's green shirt guy is funny. I've never been to one of his comedy shows, so I don't know that. I don't know that to be true. Oh! McLean said that would make it supernatural. No, it wouldn't, because he might be able to control it with a remote. You could probably get an app for it in these days. Think about that. Think about that. Fans are chanting away. Penta. Matt Jackson looking to slingshot into the corner. Enziguri from Nick Jackson. So Penta catch it. Oh, nice takedown by Nick Jackson, who poses for a second. Nice kick by Nick Jackson. Forearm strike by Nick Jackson. Fun fact, green shirt guy gave me one of the front row chairs at a Philly show. There he is. There he is. John, there was confusion as to whether you were there, and some members of this community thought you might be the rascal that held up that sign, and I said no. I said, that won't be our John. That won't be our John. I know our John. Crossbody by Matt Jackson to Eddie Kingston on the entrance ramp. Nick Jackson in there with Penta. We need green shirt guy versus Lily sign at Hell in a Cell. I would watch that, says William. Green shirt guy is a huge Brock Lesnar fan, says Brian Coleman. Can I just say how much that sign has backfired? Because all everyone is talking about right now is how great green shirt guy is. That's all it's done. The green shirt guy hatred that was shown on Dynamite has actually reflected in green shirt guy love in our community, and I love seeing it. So shout out to all of you. This isn't awful. It's just a typical opening match. Package pile driver. 1, 2. Eddie Kingston makes the save. Yeah, kick the quads off in Penta. Days, the original tweeter just retweeted your tweet about the green shirt guy. Pfft, I don't care. I've said my piece. I've said the things that need to be said. Guys, there seems to be a developing situation on Twitter right now. If you want to fight for green shirt, I don't know if there's war happening, guys. We might be at war. Guys, we might be at war. It's time to get your helmets on. We might be at war. Get the tanks. Where's Shotzi? Get the tanks. We might be going to war. If we are going to war, you better make sure that you're on the right side. You better be on the side of the good guys. The green guys. Hashtag green team. Hashtag green team. If you want to follow the drama, it's at Wrestling Days on Twitter. You don't even need to subscribe. It's not a private account. Penta to the outside. Can I just say that this is still so tight? So tight. Green shirt guy. Yeah. Green shirt guy gang. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Penta has won this match. McLean said, I'm a part of the green team. Green team? Yep. Justice for green shirt guy. Guys, right now, Tony says hashtag green team. There we go. That is from good to see Tony in the chat. Always around. There is Frankie. There's a brawl. Do we need the brawl counter? What's this counter? Is that I can't remember what that one was. Is that the brawl counter? It's just random pictures of me. What's that? Winners. What's this? 2. It's just the 2. What's this? Oh! Yeah! There we go. Green team. Brawl count as needed at a what? Well, I'm on it, mate. I'm on it. Look at this. I'm not an amateur. This is a slick, professional operation right here. I just got here. What's happened with green shirt guy? Good. It's neutral team. What? Did you see my comment about the Fiend? No. I want to watch it in English, not Spanish. Oh, is it doing that to you? Right, we got Christian backstage with Jungle Boy. Is that where Jungle Boy has to get dressed? Have they not got, like, changing rooms? Vikki Guerrero is wrestling. Excuse me. Austin says, yeah, I said it. Neutral team. Days, do you think it's too early for WWE and AEW to do live touring again? I don't know I don't know where the pandemic is, to be honest, in America. I mean, they are coming over to the UK, but, I mean, we're going to have 60,000 at Wembley. We are starting up things. They're coming over in September. I think it's September. It might be a little bit later than that. Is it September, October? I think that there's people going to UFC, so it's hard to argue in it. They're not the first to be doing it. Right, Jungle Boy versus Jack Evans coming up next. Days, look at the Twitter. Dude, if I go onto Twitter, this thing's going to blow up. Yeah, if I go onto Twitter, I am just going to be pouring gasoline onto this fire. There is a fire raging on Twitter right now. There is a war going on for the honor of Green Shirt Guy. And if I go on there with my sarcastic comments, because you know what I'm like, and I know what I'm like, then all I'm going to be doing is pouring gasoline all over what is, I should imagine, a raging fire already, right? I've said my piece. I've said my piece. Have I changed my mind since I sent that tweet? No, I have not. I have not changed my mind, and no one will change my mind. So there is no need for me to go on Twitter right now. But I understand the war is raging, and I hope it's a war that Green Team are winning. That's all I can say. I hope it's a war that we're winning. Because the bad guys do not deserve to win this one. Can I get a shout out? Yes, Samuel. Shout out to you. Michael said, did you see my comment? I said that he should go to AEW tonight or in the future. Who is this? The Fiend. Sure. Austin said, if I had a blue shirt, I would probably care. Okay. I just want to know when Jack Evans and Angélico are coming back, honestly. Well, Jack Evans is up next. Do you mean coming back as like a tag team, as like TH2? I don't know. They might have been doing some stuff on Dark or something. Days, if this is a war, who are your generals? You, LSW. You are a general. Well done. And also, Jesus is a general. Not that one. The one that's got a mom. I think the other Jesus had a mom, but she didn't really count because she was a virgin. I'm not talking about the one that's in the crowd. I don't know about his mom. I don't want to make it like cast a spell. I'm talking about the big Jesus. His mom was a virgin. The one in the crowd, do you know what I mean? She's probably... But both of them are the big Jesus is a general, but also the Jesus in the crowd's a general, and the mom's a general as well. So there's quite a few generals. So I'm glad we got that sorted. Days, I'm not talking about the Fiend. I'm talking about Brock Lesnar. Right. Sure. Another bit of news is that Darby Allin is going to be in the new Jackass 4 movie. I did hear that, Daniel. Shout out to you. Shout out to you and everyone that knows you. Mango says, Days, when Roman first turned heel, you have to agree with me that he had to have helped win every match. They just wanted it to seem that way. I can't agree that that's true. I think he would have won those matches anyway. And there's no way that we'll know, to be honest. Right, guys, there's things happening here. There's things happening. We've got people in a ring. This is Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Page and Sky. Page and Sky. Do we get to see the Beast incarnate, Brock Anderson? I forgot about him. Brock Anderson. I hope so. The Beast incarnate. Ethan Page. Ethan Page is sexy. I miss SCU, says LSW, where you would, because they're just 3 random letters like your name. Do you, AEW, would beat WWE if they had Roman Reigns or Lesnar? What? Do I think AEW would beat WWE if they had Roman Reigns or Lesnar? Depends who's booking it. If AEW book it, they'll win. If WWE book it, they'll win. If it's a real fight, then I'll go with whoever's got Brock. Is it me or does Paige sound drunk, says Michael. Well, he's wearing a black shirt with skulls on it. Darby. We can't hear you. Oh, yeah, the coffin match. I forgot about the coffin match. Days Brock Lesnar versus Brock Anderson. Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah. I forgot about, yeah. Every time you do a coffin drop, you'll think of me laying you in the coffin. Oh, lights have gone out, guys. Lights out. You know what that means. Bong. I mean shouldn't have. It's Sting! It's Sting with... He's got a coffin on wheels, guys. Coffin on wheels. That's a really good coffin. That's a really good coffin. That's a really good coffin you've got there, Sting. Brilliant. Brilliant. It's snowing in Florida. If Brock would answer one question from all of us, what question would we ask? I would ask him, why is it taking you so long to get into wrestling, considering your dad is a legend and has been in AEW for a long time? That's what I would ask him. Darby was inside the coffin, by the way, and he popped out of the coffin. Sting with a scorpion death drop. I would ask him who his favourite wrestler was. That's a funny one. Thank you. People really enjoyed that. Look, people saying that was funny. Puntastic. Ethan Page outside. You can't beat me. You know it. Next week's match is off. It's cancelled. It's over. Forget it. There is no coffin match. Alright, so you're not having it next week now. If he behaves himself, then he's allowed the coffin match. But only if he behaves. If he's good, then he can fight in a coffin match. Page, you chicken. Coffin match next week. No. No coffin match next week. Jericho's got a new book. I bet that book's alright, actually. Days, why so many people around Darby Allin? Don't know. Is it a brawl? Was it a brawl? I think it was a brawl, wasn't it? Guys, come on. What's the point in having this brawl counter if you're going to slip? Unbelievable. I know you're all focused on the war that's happening, but still, come on. We don't have the AEW thing, do we? So we can make this a bit bigger, maybe. There we go. It's not really bigger. Right, we've got things happening now. Here is Matt Hardy. Alright, Jack Evans. Jack Evans versus... Who was it? I can't remember. Jungle Boy. Here we go. Days, it makes me feel ill knowing that people, including me, enjoyed Raw 2 weeks in a row. Jungle Boy, Jack Evans is going to be great, says Z. Tyron Woodley should smash Jake Paul. I wonder if Bronson reads Chris's book. Ah, look at that. Lovely little callback to yesterday. Bronson reads Chris Jericho. Do you know what? I can't remember much from yesterday's streams. You should add the moan meter on this. I don't know if it's needed. We haven't really moaned, have we? Have we moaned? Probably. Probably we have. Jungle Boy intro gets annoying after a while, says Retribution. Austin likes to give Days massages whilst J14 reads them books. That's true, actually. Brad G said, I'd like to see Hasbulla beat up Marco Stunt. They should book that. That would get views. That would get views, definitely. Jungle Boy is so good, I can't wait for him to eventually get a title. James Kenny said, Days, can you download Super Ultrasound Pregnancy Test Simulator? They've added a new result. If you have no baby, you get a sticker. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing. I will definitely download that. I will definitely In fact, I'm downloading it right now. A new result. I didn't even think you could get that many results. I thought it was only yes or no. So that sounds great. Super Ultrasound Pregnancy Test Simulator. Wow. You get to be the woman and go into the bathroom cubicle and then pee on a stick. It's brilliant. You have to hold the stick in the right position. What is this stream? What is this stream? What is this stream? Hit roll, hit roll, hit roll. AEW sucks because they don't have hit roll. Well, Jungle Boy is doing Jungle Boy things. Wonder if Anna J had a rumble in the jungle. Oh, I bet she has. I bet she's had a fumble in the jungle. Kick to the midsection. Do you think they'll make her Tarzan? Do you think they'll make her Jungle Girl? Against the ropes. Jungle Boy over the top. Goes down. Goes for a drop kick. Evans holds onto the ropes. Charges over. Nice kick. Jungle Boy goes back into the corner. Is Miro wrestling tonight? Yes. Yes. Big slap by Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy, ooh, sort of lost his footing, but he did well there. I don't even know, actually, if he lost his footing as a botch or if it was part of the move. It looked like it was a botch, but if it was, he hit it really well. Picture in picture. AEW's booking is awful. Every match has a cluster ending. Miro versus Brian Pillman Jr. for the TNT title tonight, says Smurfy Tunes. Z says Hornswoggle versus Marco Stunt. Right, we're picture in picture still to come. We've got Brit Baker and Reba versus Nyla Rose and Vikki Guerrero. We've also got Sammy versus MJF, so lots to look forward to. Miro is taking on Brian Pillman Jr. Days, that guy better hope that green shirt guy isn't friends with Hasbulla. Facts. Have you noticed how he's put the sign away? 37 minutes into this show and he hasn't shown it again. He played the big I am at the start, and now he's backtracked. All of a sudden now that sign has been put away. Do you know what I mean? It's the kind of thing where your friends dare you to do it, and then you do it, and then you know that it's been seen on camera, and you go, oh my god. Oh my god, he is going to mess me up. Oh my god. Maybe if I don't show it again, I might be able to get away with it. And that is exactly what he's thinking right now. It's just a matter of time for Miro is going to be joined by his smoking hot wife. I didn't know she smoked. Anthony said, it shocks me that WWE would go after Pillman Jr. and try to continue his father's legacy. I can see that in the corner, and I think it's struggling with it because it thinks it's green, and I can just see the corner flickering. I can see the corner of the sofa flickering as well. That's bugging me. Oh, it stopped. It stopped. No, it's come back again. No, it stopped. What is going on? What is it doing? Ah! What are you doing that for? Stupid sofa. Look, all good. Everything's fine. I'm watching the sofa. Ah, there, look, back again. Unbelievable. Is it when I move? It is. Unbelievable, guys. Wow, there we go. There's something I've learned. WWE did Pillman's dirty. What a coward. At least have the to follow through with it and show it throughout the show. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to call someone out, call them out. Do you know what I mean? Don't be like, green shirt guy, don't want this smoke. And then, do you know what I mean? Put it back down again. I knew we were on the right side. Are you kidding? WWE probably doesn't acknowledge his existence considering they want to hire big guys now. Well, Heather, we all want to hire big guys. Jungle Boy lands on his feet. Jack Evans upside down in the corner. Drop kick by Jungle Boy. And the snare trap. Snare trap is applied by Jungle Boy. And Jack Evans taps. Jack Evans taps. Snap trap. Snap trap. Legit question. What if Vince walks into the PC tomorrow and decides he wants all the big names at a draft? Well, then he would have all the big names in a draft. We got another brawl. Another brawl. What is that? It's another brawl. Is it a brawl? Yes, it is a brawl. Boom. Brawl number 3. My favourite one so far, actually, this one. So, match is over. Christian's come down. He's stripping Matt Hardy. He's took his jacket off. He's now choking him with it. So, Christian Cage throwing in some strikes, and Matt Hardy staggers away. Matt versus Christian. I've never seen that before. Keith Lee should be in AEW. These brawls better end in a brawl for all. Kill switch, says Heather. Days, true. He probably just got sent what WWE 3 would be like. Yeah. He got scared. It's understandable. He got scared. We're just hearing from Mjif. I've outclassed you. Days, do you remember soccer coach Graham Taylor? I do, Capsman09. Who could forget? Didn't he take over from Bobby Robson? You've decided to turn AEW into your own personal Looney Tunes? You have a brawl. You have a brawl. You have a brawl. Instead of having matches, AEW should just have their entire roster fight for 2 hours. Right, so we've just got MJF doing a promo right now, and he's talking to Chris Jericho. But he's not in the ring. This is like a vignette backstage. One last match. If. After I beat you. You'll leave me alone. For good. Who is the future of professional wrestling? That was good. That was good from MJF. He says, after our match tonight, they're going to say that you're the future. And then he screams, because I'm the now. He's an excellent promo, isn't he, MJF? He is an excellent promo. He's so... You want to just punch him yourself, don't you? He's a great heel. He's a great promo. He's a great heel. WWE is going to treat Green Shirt Guy like a hero in a few weeks. You know that guy with the sign as well. He'll soon change his tune. Could you imagine if AEW came out and Green Shirt Guy was all elite? Imagine if they came out with a graphic that said Green Shirt Guy was all elite. Pfft. All of a sudden, then that guy wouldn't be calling him out, would he? All of a sudden, then Green Shirt Guy will be the second coming. MJF is amazing on the mic, says James. We are not worthy to watch MJF, says Mike. Well, you might not be, Mike, but I definitely am. I definitely am. He's very, very good on the mic. He is very good. Hot dogs don't taste better with Pepsi, says Cheese Whiz. Did MJF say something about Sammy's simps? I can't say I heard that in particular. I've heard the Bucks are part owners of AEW. Is that true? I don't know. I know them to be executive vice presidents. Mike, shout out to you, buddy. Harley said, Days, so at this stage, we've got a match, we've got a brawl, then a segment, then a brawl, then a match, then a brawl. Have you been watching the Olympic qualifiers? Patrick the Penguin has qualified. I did not watch the Olympic qualifiers, but we have actually now started to get adverts for them in the UK, so we are getting closer towards the Olympics beginning. We're also getting closer to our halftime scores. We're 14 minutes away from the halftime. So, Sammy Simps. Yes, he did. WWE will make Orange Santa the face of the WWE Universe. That was a bit of lightning, says William. Vin says shout-outs are cool. Right, we are just at commercial break for AEW. Tampa Bay are 1-0 up, says Capsman. How does a company have Thunder Rosa and not feature Brian Rosa? It's a great question. I love that he goes by that name now. I saw his account the other day. He still goes by the name Brian Rosa. Which he absolutely should go by that name. Days, have you seen Riddle's tweets of him texting Randy, I love RK Bro? I haven't. Right, we're going back to the show. Okay. Kenny Omega interview coming up. Ooh, Andrade. Yeah, we're waiting for this announcement, this surprise. I had a great announcement. But Matt something interrupted me. I want to make an example. Matt something. Andrade El Ídolo. In Miami. So, there we go. Andrade versus Matt Something at Road Rager next week. The great Tony Schiavone. Was that the announcement? I don't think that was his announcement, no, but I think they're just still making us wait. No, he didn't come out that last week saying that he wanted to face Matt Sydal, did he? Kenny Omega. Days, can you download Football Trophy Design Contest? It's a game where you get to make new trophies. That actually sounds like a good game. I would definitely watch that. Download that. Play that. Days, we've never seen Rock Randy Orton. I think that would be a money match. Who do you think would win? I would have to think Randy Orton right now. Kenny Omega coming out. On his own, actually. be one of the first to pre-order the AEW replica titles. Omega sucks, says Cheese Whiz. What is with all these moustaches and whatnot? Here's Kenny. 200-day reign as AEW World Champion. The cleaner's facial hair is back, says Heather. Okay. I will tell you. He said he woke up feeling like a king. His facial hair is a little bit Triple H. And he mentions the king. Kenny looks like he belongs in the 70s. That was a great match last week. That match last week was brilliant. Well worth watching. I seem to remember last week's Dynamite was a little bit flat and then the main event saved it. There's no one left. You'll still be able to catch me around the world. So he's saying he's beaten everyone. And some music plays, but I don't know whose it is. Dark Order. Evil Uno. Did I hear you say that you have no challengers? Evil Uno thinks differently. Give Silver a chance. I wasn't expecting Dark Order to come out. You're not even close to being ranked to face me. Are we getting there? I think we know someone that does. I think you know someone we've befriended. People are getting excited, man. The number one ranked. Hangman, Hangman. If you actually... This is good. If you are talking about who I think you're talking about, I don't think he would appreciate you talking on his behalf. I don't think he has the guts. This is really good. I wasn't really into this at the start. Then I was confused when the Dark Order came out. That person himself doesn't think he's got the chance to win this, so... his musical hit, the place will erupt, man. Okay. But he hasn't come out. It was a bit weird, the ending of... Strange. Strange. That was just strange. The way the camera was, the way that Kenny was talking, it sort of looked, the way the camera focused on Kenny, it sort of looked like when he said good night, and all this, and then turned around. I thought Hangman was going to be there, but then I was like, how are they going to have him there with the crowd there? Because surely the crowd are going to react. So they can't do that. But the way it was all playing out, it kind of felt like he was going to do that, and maybe someone was going to take the mask off, and it was Hangman in the ring, or something like that. One of them would take the mask off. Obviously not Evil Uno. That was clearly Evil Uno. But I was just trying to think, like, where's this go? And it's just ended. But they've planted the seed, haven't they? Lone Star Sen said I was waiting for Hangman's music hit. I was as well. And then when he did the thing, I was waiting for either the music to hit or him to get attacked, or maybe the cameraman to put the camera down and it turned out to be Hangman. Oh, you're waiting for summer. And nothing came. Orton is injured. That sucks, says James Chadwick. The whole story is that Hangman hasn't got the guts to confront. Hangman, when he won last night, he was smiling and then realised he's now the #1 ranked wrestler, and his face dropped. Heather says, we will lose Hangman at some point because his wife is pregnant. Oh my God. Yeah, it's true, guys. His wife is pregnant. Apparently, they're having a little girl. They're going to call it Mavis. They're going to call it Mavis Ethel Knockingbottom. And it's just carrying on the trend of all these wrestlers having kids and then giving them old names. So, yeah, we are going to lose Hangman very soon. James Chadwick said Hangman should have been the first AEW World Champion. Days, do you think MJF will be champion soon? Don't know. It depends what you mean by soon. I think he will be champion, but within the next couple of years. But I don't think he'll be champion. I don't think he'll be champion this year. I can see Hangman winning it from Kenny and MJF winning it from Hangman. Halftime scores now. We'll do them next commercial break. Why are they teasing when they've got a live crowd? Ardale said there's too many pregnant wrestlers' wives. These people need to stop having sex and just wrestle. Wow. Perhaps it's good practice for some of the moves. Right, we've gone back. We are moments away from the TNT Championship match. MJF can take the belt from Paige. Here is Brian Pillman Jr. I am having a good day. Well, that is great news, James Kenny. Shout out to you. WWE has trademarked Crypto Drip. Dace, who should win the TNT title match tonight? Miro. You're a big Bulgarian bully. This next contest is... She's like a world cheer... Did you know she's a 2-time world cheerleading champion? Brian Pillman Jr. versus Miro. CM Punk to AEW confirmed. WWE has also trademarked Mr. and Mrs. Drip, so Frankie is coming soon. The universe hates ideas about the return of Lesnar. Right, here's Miro. The Redeemer? The Redeemer? The Redeemer. I just saw the Redeemer. I don't know how long that's been on his graphic. At first, I thought it said the reindeer. I was like, Miro the reindeer. That's like the greatest kids book ever. I should definitely do that for Christmas. Miro the reindeer. But it was actually Redeemer. He chucks the belt in the ring to Aubrey. He said he was the Redeemer in his last interview. Well, it's on his graphic now. Here he is, Miro the Reindeer. God's favourite champion. That's a fact. That is a fact. WWE has trademarked AEW. No more games for the reindeer. We want Lana. Right. Right, we're about to get underway with this TNT title match. He's got a new theme. It's the Bulgarian national anthem, I think, with sirens in the background. You know, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Miro. Works, doesn't it? Right, nice Samoan drop by Miro. Miro the reindeer is better than Rudolph the reindeer. Right, well, he's absolutely pounding away on Brian Pillman here. Miro is Seth Rollins now without the drip. I don't know. Oh, what? Because Seth Rollins is the Messiah. And Miro is God's favourite champion. What a weird thing to say. God's favourite champion. I could understand it if his gimmick was spiritual, but it's a weird thing to just have. He's the best man. He's the reindeer. He's God's favourite champion. Don't forget Olive, the other reindeer, says Jimmy. Right, Brian is down. Miro in control. He's got black and gold attire. He looks good. Still, that guy hasn't shown the sign. Again. It's exactly an hour since that happened. Still, the shockwaves are being felt on the internet. Right, picture in picture on this one. Rusev Day, what do you think Brian Pillman would think of his son wrestling? I think he'd be very proud. I like Miro's kick pads, says Heather. Miro prays for his opponents before every match. Imagine the sheer amount of new talent we might see trickle into AEW over the next 80 days. Miro clotheslining Pillman to the outside. Pillman down outside the ring. Anthony said Becky has red hair. So is she the red-headed stepchild? You'd have to ask Vince. Belly to belly on the outside. Does anyone else feel that this week's show's a bit flat? I don't know what it is. I just really just can't get into anything. And I got into that Kenny thing, and then I was like, oh. But with this, I just think this is a straightforward win for Miro. Miro's nickname should be the Pasta, because he likes being in wedding segments. Edge of the railing. Miro dying into the ring. I've got Dunkin' Donuts and orange juice, says James Kenny. Dylan said, days when Bronson Reed goes to the main roster, what show do you think he will go to? He could go to either, couldn't he, in all fairness? I mean, he is a credible wrestler. He's got a good size. He would look good on SmackDown. He might get in the way of someone like Otis, though, and Kevin Owens, who are a bit similar. So he might end up going to Raw, and if he goes to Raw, they're going to probably give him a gimmick of some kind. I think they probably like his entrance, though. Him walking through them buildings, a bit like Godzilla, I think that would look good on the entrance stage. So I'm leaning to Raw. The show has been okay. The pacing is off because they have commercial breaks during every match so far. Maybe they're saving up for a commercial-free match at the end, says Ardale. This has been a great show. It's been the best show that they've had in 3 weeks. Good matching, building stories, tying loose ends. Ryan said, Days, you're more interested in Euros and wrestling other than the pay-per-view. It has been... Jericho on commentary has been good energy, says Big Rod. Miro goes down. Another Star Wars marathon on TBS this weekend, says Jimmy. Miro with Pillman. Pillman with a right hand. Days, how would you feel about Reed with Roman since Reed is Samoan? No, I wouldn't like it. I think Roman's about family. I don't think he's really representing Samoans. So... I mean, he could be an opponent, but I don't know if you can build him up quick enough, to be honest, to face Roman. Big chops coming in by Brian Pillman. What don't you like about the show? Everything, to be honest. I'm just not feeling it. I think the first match was a real standard opening match, million miles an hour. Not really anything in the way of psychology. It's just fast-paced match to welcome to the show. I think they cater the opening match to casual viewers that might see it and go, oh, okay, what's this? Let's stick on this for a second, like, because they're seeing big moves and whatever. It's a way to try and hook you into the show. But I think if you're a regular viewer, you just see that match week after week after week after week after week and just become so desensitized to it. It's kind of like when the Authority were coming out. You had an Authority figure doing a promo at the start of Raw week after week after week after week. Just wish they'd mix it up a little bit. And I suppose in a way, not just AEW. It's what all wrestling shows do. Fast-paced match, non-stop moves, just it's same week after week after week. So I feel a bit desensitized to that. The Kenny thing, as I said, I got into that, so I didn't mind that. I got into that, but I was still a bit... The Darby Allin thing, I just thought was a bit silly. I don't mind the coffin being brought out, but like a coffin on wheels. And then like Darby pops out of it. And I just think that the fact that they're going to delay the match now for a week, but if you're good, I'll still give it you. I don't know, it feels like they're just stalling for time a little bit. If you're good, you can do it at Fyter Fest. Well, why not just book it for Fyter Fest? If you're going to do it at Fyter Fest, just book it for Fyter Fest. There seems like there's just a little bit of delaying, and it's just not needed. I think they could use the time for better, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm not saying this is horrific, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I just sort of feel like it's just a bit dull. Now we've got this Miro-Brian Pillman match, which I never thought that Pillman stood a chance in. Miro's won. Match was okay. Hasn't done anything for me. I still appreciate. I mean, I kind of feel like that's a TNT title match. It's not really felt like one. I would have liked that to have been maybe built a little bit more, and for Pillman to have had a bit more of a realistic opportunity of winning. Instead, it's been used in the middle of the show to connect hour 1 to hour 2. But he never really stood a chance, did he? And considering it was a title match, it kind of felt a bit... We've got Hangman with the Dark Order now. Evil Uno's voice does not fit his body at all, does it? Someone was talking, I couldn't see who was talking. And I was like, who is this? And it was Evil Uno. They say to Hangman Page, you've waited long enough, this is your time. Right. There we go. Now we're at commercial break. Put in your halftime scores. What do you think about the show? What are you going to give the show out of 10? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you a fan? Do you think this is a great episode? Do you think it's a poor episode? Do you think it's an average episode? Is there segments that you love? Are there things that you hate? What do you think about the show? Put it in a score. Drop it on screen. Tell the world. Are you happy? Are you sad? Tomorrow is a big day. Do you think we'll hear what Vince wants? No. Corey625, let him in 5. Z with a 7. Ricky KV with a 4. Dylan with a 7. Spike with 100 out of 10. Damien with a 7. Airflow Games with a 5. Rated R Wrestling with a 3. Melissa with a 7. Mike with a 4. Mike RN with a 5. Cheese Whiz with a 6. Jennifer with a 6. J14 6.5. Bruce with a 7. Retribution with a 5. Ryan says 6.5. Austin says 5.5. Robin says 0 because of no Electra Lopez. Ardale with a 6. Bathstro with a 6. Johnny with a 7. Hang on. I want to try and get it so that I can get the chat back if it does scroll up a bit quick. I agree with the Dark Order. No one on the AEW roster deserves a shot against Omega than Adam Page. Dave says 5. Sadly, I'm getting tired, so I'll see you tomorrow. I bid you farewell. Heather says 7.25. Robin says 5. Austin says 5.5. Big Rod says Miro is so good. The eyes, the intensity. It's an awesome thing. William with a 4. Freshly Squeezed Experience with a 5.75. Brandon with 3. Kieran said, I've dropped my score like it's hot, so I'm giving it a 7. Fate Ross Fate with a 7. Christian with a 7. Andrew with a 6.75. Big Rod says storytelling 8.5. Sonny says 5. Z says 7. Robin says 5. Shakeem says 5. Legend Killer says 5.5. AB Charlie says 6. Production 5. Matches 8.5 says Big Rod. Sergio said, I'm just tuning in, but I'll give it a 10 because Ref Aubrey is fire. There's too many brawls, but at least the stories go somewhere, says Heather. Devante says 4. And there we go. Right, those are the halftime scores. Let's see what they can do with 45 minutes to go. 45 minutes to go. Oh. Breaking news. Team Taz. No Ricky Starks. No Brian Cage. It's been toxic for Team Taz. I'm tired of this man. I'm tired of this man. Hook's tired of this man. He's tired of it. Brian Cage is going to face Ricky Starks. Our family members need to have a good fight to clear things up. So there we go. That'll be fun. Cage versus Ricky Starks. Right, we're moving on. We have got... Is it Nyla Rose? All right, we've got the women's tag match now. This will be good. Vikki Guerrero coming out in entrance attire similar to Nyla Rose. All right. Vikki Guerrero. Vikki Guerrero and Nyla Rose taking on Brit Baker. Brit Baker and Reba. Right, this will be alright. I was looking forward to this. Looking forward to this. This could be good. Brit Baker time. Brit Baker time. Here she is. She gets a good reaction. Okay, so Brit Baker has come out, and here's Reba. Brit Baker, the best woman on the roster, says Austin. Okay, so it's going to be Brit Baker and Reba taking on Vikki and Nyla Rose. Vicky's going to start, apparently. Vikki and Reba both in the ring. Face to face. Reba, first match in almost a month, says Ardale. Strike by Brit Baker. Vikki goes down. She's crawling over and tags out immediately. They do the DMD thing. And Nyla Rose is in there. Nyla Rose going over to Brit Baker. Reba jumps on the back of Nyla. Flips her over. Rebel has been posting a lot of thirsty pictures of herself on Twitter these past few weeks. I'm surprised she's covered up for this match. Michael, shout out to you. Against ropes goes Nyla. Big splash by Nyla. She goes over to the corner. Brit Baker jumps down. Brit Baker doesn't want to get in there with Nyla for some reason. Clothesline. So Nyla Rose is dominating Reba. Slams her down. Leg drop. Dr. Brit Baker, baby. The commentary is lackluster today. Scoop up by Nyla Rose. So Brit Baker not wanting to tag in. Vikki is tagged in and Reba is down. Where's Nyla Rose going? Oh, they're going to picture in picture. She's going under the ring to get a table? Big strike by Reba. Hurls Vikki down. Is Brit Baker a face or a heel? I don't know. I mean, I think she's meant to be a heel. She's always been a heel, but in this feud, she should be a face. But then she doesn't want to get in there. I think they've said before they don't really have faces and heels. Like, I mean, they do, but I don't know. Perhaps they're all right with it just being a little bit not as obvious. Because we spoke about that earlier with Miro, didn't we? Tony Khan said that on his current roster member that his commentary experience will... Tony Khan said on that a current roster member that has commentary experience will be on the new commentary team for Rampage. Do you think it'll be Jericho, a Go-Go, Daniels, or someone else? Well, a Go-Go hasn't got commentary experience, surely, has he? Daniels? I don't know who's got commentary experience. I mean, I wouldn't think Jericho because he's going on the road. Someone on the roster that's got commentary experience. I mean, I'm thinking someone like Matt Hardy. Someone who's on the roster, like Vikki. Someone that doesn't wrestle, but is still maybe technically on the roster. You know, I'm thinking like they've used Taz, haven't they? So could it be someone like Vikki? Could it be someone like Matt Hardy? Mark Henry has been announced as the commentator for Rampage already. Yeah, but he'll have a partner, won't he? Go-Go commentated on Dark for months. Daniels has got commentary experience. Oh, I don't watch Dark, so I don't know. Go-Go? Maybe it will be then. I don't know. This match is Kruger abuse. Reba is on the shoulder of Nyla Rose. When it's heels versus heels, it's whoever cheats the most wins. Jake the Snake would be good on commentary, says Ryan. Conan, says Spike. It is so quiet. Some of the fans are trying to get a chant going, but I don't know, man. This has got very little momentum at the moment. Plants Reba, goes back to Brit Baker, who knees are in the back. Reba trying to roll up Nyla. Against the ropes again. Brit Baker coming in. Against the ropes goes Baker. Slingshot. So Brit Baker's in the ring now. Trying to get some, but couldn't do it. And Nyla kick to the midsection. Low kick by Brit Baker. Kick to the face and Nyla Rose goes down. Brit Baker with the glove. But Nyla Rose grabs her. Plants her down. Jake Hager as well. Miro and Mark Henry would be a great team, says Mike. This isn't a good feud for Britt after just getting the title. Knee by Nyla, and Brit Baker took that well. I love how she flipped off the rope there. That was really good. Knee to the side of the head. The way she bounced off the rope was best part of the match for me. Britt's selling there was really good. That was good. Vikki is on the outside. She gets tagged in. She's got "excuse me" written across her backside. And here we go. Nyla Rose going up top. Back into the corner. Nyla Rose falls down. Brit Baker is going to look to put Vikki away. The lockjaws applied on Vikki Guerrero. Brit Baker lockjaws Vikki Guerrero. Do you like AEW tonight? Not massively, no. This was a match I was really looking forward to, and it was really quiet at times. Like, I kind of sensed even the crowd weren't massively getting into it. I like the end, though. The end of the match was good. Power bomb to Brit Baker. Lockjaw. I see red lightning. There's a table set up on the outside. Nyla Rose has got Brit Baker on the edge of the ring. She's got something sinister up her sleeve, guys. Can I tell you, they're just checking. They seem to be checking on the leg of Reba. I'm more interested in what they're doing with Reba. She's just planted Brit Baker through the table, but if you look on the entrance ramp, they're actually checking on Reba's leg. So Brit Baker gets put through a table. Vikki Guerrero's in the ring, but they're not showing you, but they are just checking on Reba's leg. And she's still down talking to them. AEW is going to put the belt on Sting. Next week, we've got Young Bucks versus Penta and Eddie Kingston. Again. Cody is taking on QT Marshall in a South Beach strap match. Andrade El Idolo takes on Matt Sydal. And Inner Circle against Pinnacle. Hager, Santana, Ortiz against Wardlow and FTR. Moxley is back next week. Well, we're just seeing Santana, Ortiz, and Hager. We got just over half an hour to go. There was a little graphic that popped up saying we were going to see Sammy and MJF next. So does that mean that it's going to get about half an hour as the main event? I think we've done all the matches that were announced, in all fairness. Nyla dragged her afterwards. Hager punched the wall. He did. She probably pulled something when she went to interrupt the pin. Right, well, we just got a promo right now with Santana, Ortiz, and Hager. Okay. Only 30 minutes left. This show has flown by. I love how AEW builds up future shows. They keep us informed. They are very good at building up for what's to come. Yeah. They always have a lot more previewed than like WWE, for example. Face to face next week will be Jericho and MJF. So we'll find out next week what the stipulations are for him to get one more match with MJF. This match has been crazy good. I don't mind WWE's take. I like surprises, says List of Jericho. Do you think the 6-man tag bouts are a good idea? Do I think the 6-man tag bouts are a good idea? They might be. I mean, they might work in AEW. You could probably get a good division together. There's quite a few factions. Right, main event time. Main event time. MJF versus Sammy. Is it like that? Britt is a bump queen. Boom. I like it when WWE gives us cliffhangers. Right, I think we might be at commercial break, but we're just seeing MJF come out and he's showing the crowd the ring that he wears. I like it when there's a tornado watch. Days, what do you think? Thunder Rosa dethrones Brit Baker, and the main event, the pay-per-view. I think they should be the first women to main event a pay-per-view. Yeah, they probably should. After that match that they had, you know, I mean, a lot of people would probably name that as the match of the year, the Brit Baker Thunder Rosa match. So I think after that and the hype that match generated, I think they probably do deserve to main event a pay-per-view. The only thing I would say is if Hangman is going to face Kenny, it can't go over that. It can't. That's too big, really. Okay, MJF's just cutting a promo first. All the boys in the back. All the boys in the back are happy that we're... He's talking about happy at being back at Daly's place. Have we left? Did we go somewhere else? You love to chant his name and the crowd start chanting. I'm better than you and you know it. Last week our main event was Jungle Boy against Kenny and it was brilliant. This week, you know, will this be able to reach that same standard? I hope so. I can't see why not. Both of these are great wrestlers. What I like about Dynamite, I'm going to give Dynamite some praise. I really like the main events. I think they build up their main events very well. I think Jungle Boy Kenny is a good main event, a really good main event. It was a really good match. And I think this is a main event as well. It's kind of like when you get a show, the main event should feel like it's pay-per-view worthy. And these two going at each other feels like it's pay-per-view worthy. So, yeah, I'm down for this. This is his night to show what he can do. There's an LA Knight commercial on AEW. It went to commercial, so I'm not seeing the promo. Oh, damn. I would have told you everything he said if that was the case. MJF said to the crowd that you like to chant his name and all of this, and they started chanting for him. He said something about how they had left Daly's place and he's missing the pandemic already because he hates being back. But I was like, I don't even think they've left, have they? He didn't really say much, to be honest. I didn't realise you guys weren't seeing it. How'd you feel about Grimes versus Knight and the Butler stipulation? Not really bothered. I mean, in a way, if it's going to lead to like Grimes being this generation's Virgil, could be quite interesting. And that might be a nice way of bringing Virgil in. So it could lead to some fun stuff. But we've seen Butler stipulations before, and they never really work out very well. I want to know in the live chat who everyone's going with, says Michael. I'm going with Sammy. Who do you think? Hard, actually. It's hard to say. It's a good, close little match, this. Genuinely could go either way. The two locking up right now. Against the ropes goes MJF. And MJF with a shoulder tackle. Sammy goes down. Holds on and he struts over the top of Sammy. Now underneath, over the top. And now Sammy does some struts. Probably MJF, says Big Boy Dally. John said, do you think WWE will do anything special for the holiday on Raw on Monday? Maybe roll out some old tribute to the troops footage. I don't know what holiday it is on Monday. Are we talking about July 4th? 4th of July? Is that Sunday or Monday, or when is that? Let's have a look. It is the Sunday. They might have some reference to it, sure. I don't know if there'll probably be some reference to it, but because it's the day after, I don't think it'll be a big deal. Nice takedown by Sammy. They're giving this match some time, aren't they? I mean, 24 minutes this match is going to get. MJF looking for a backslide. Around the back, looking another backslide. 1, 2. Inside cradle by MJF. Reversed by Sammy. Reversed by MJF. Reversed by Sammy. 2. I think both shoulders were down there and they both kip up. I can't believe it's already time for the main event, says Johnny. MJF comes over and he puts his hand out. He wants to shake the hand of Sammy. Sammy punches him in the face. It is true. Jericho made a good point. It's like, I wasn't expecting this from this fight. Like, you did expect these two to just, like, really go at it. I expected Sammy to, like, be really aggressive, but there's been a lot of just, like, one-upmanship, if you will. Face first into the corner goes MJF. MJF going up top. Sammy going up top. MJF is down. And MJF rolls out the ring. What do you think on this match? I agree with Jericho. Not what I expected. I expected Sammy to be fired up, finally getting his hands on MJF and to go at him, and MJF to be kind of outmaneuvering him, and, you know, Sammy to get frustrated, and then Sammy, as the match went on, starting to bring in his aerial attacks. So it hasn't gone that way. It doesn't have to go that way, but that's what I was expecting, and it's been, I don't know, it's felt like they've both wanted to show that they can wrestle. It doesn't feel like there's a hatred between them. That would be a criticism I've got. I think MJF is doing a decent job with it, but it sort of feels like just another match for Sammy. So I'd like to have seen a bit of aggression, bit of anger, bit of emotion. MJF hurls Sammy into the railing, and Sammy goes down. It's been fine so far. I do like the young talent that AEW have got. MJF, Guevara, Darby, Britt, Hangman, Ricky Starks. Boring, says Johnny. MJF rolls into the ring. And he's got his hand on the throat of Sammy. Goes to the cover. Sammy kicks out. I like the pace of it. I like the fact it's not a million miles an hour. So MJF choking Sammy over that middle rope. Picks up Sammy. Backdrop. Going for the cover. Kick out by Sammy. I don't like Baron Corbin, says Brian. So Sammy is down at the moment, and MJF is just going to work a little bit, stamping on the arm. Even though this is slow, I like it. I like it because I think a lot of stuff in AEW is very, very quick. So I think it makes MJF stand out. I think it makes the match a bit different. He's raking the back. You can see where some of the chops have really been thrown in by Sammy Guevara. And another chop as well. So you can see how red MJF's chest is. He grabs the hair of Sammy and hurls him down. He's got knee over the throat. One. Just a one count. How's the live stream been for you? How has the chat been for you? Live stream's been alright. I wish the show had a bit more for us to get our teeth into. I think we had fun with the green shirt guy sign at the start. Biting the fingers right now. What happened to Sonny? So, Sammy is down on his hands and knees. MJF coming over. Looking to drive a knee into the back and pull him back on the chin. So, as we said, pace of this I haven't got a problem with. I think as we get further into the match, the pace will pick up. I like how MJF is keeping it grounded as well, as he should. Because that means when Sammy can go and bring some of his aerial attacks in, it's going to look really impressive. Out the ring goes MJF. That was great work by MJF. So Sammy goes against the ropes. He pulls out the apron and Sammy goes down in between the ring. He goes over to someone in the crowd who's ranting in his face. MJF with Sammy, but Sammy reverses. Backdrop on the outside. You know what I'm like in the streams is the thumbnails. Oh, I'm pleased you like them. Austin said this main event could raise up my score. Springboards. Oh, nice reversal by MJF. He catches Sammy and power bombs him down. And so that was good. That was good by MJF. So Sammy rolling over to the corner. Crowd are very quiet. Does anyone else think the crowd... I'm trying to hear if they're chanting anything. Not much coming from the crowd. MJF looking to suplex. Headbutt by Sammy. MJF is sat on the ropes. Sammy with a Spanish fly. A Spanish God fly. Spanish God fly. Jericho said he's living vicariously through Sammy Guevara. And he's demanding a replay. So, Spanish fly. I love seeing two future world champions main event in the show. Something about this makes it feel more important. Sammy into the corner. Jericho goes in after. Sammy to the outside. Inzaguri to the back of the head. Now he's going up. Now the pace has quickened. Back kick by Sammy. MJF against the ropes. Over the top rope. Both of them go. Sammy holds on. And gets back into the ring. Against the ropes goes Sammy. Over the top. Twists to the outside, comes crashing down onto MJF. Now the crowd are a bit more vocal. Can see some passion in that front row. Did Jericho just say that the third... I think he just said the third person in this match that's been missing for so long is firing up Sammy tonight? So, is that Jericho saying that the crowd has been missing? Yeah, now, well, they're definitely involved now, and there was a destroyer by Sammy. MJF in the corner. The crowd are chanting, "This is awesome." 2 weeks in a row, AEW has featured young talent in main events. Days, how would you feel if Sammy became the new leader of the Inner Circle? Yeah, I'd be down for it. I think it'd be good. If Jericho's got to go, I think it makes sense. I kind of think that this story has been used to build up Sammy, to be honest. MJF has gone out of the ring. He's grabbed a chair. Sammy goes through, hits the chair. The chair hits MJF in the head, and he goes into the front row. Sammy is down. I feel like the AEW chants are a bit forced. Sammy is climbing up. This might be a nice spot. MJF in the crowd. Sammy up top. Wow. I mean, fair play. Do you know what I mean? You've got people all around. There's people all around. You've really got to be precise there. And if that's actual crowd members... Yeah, I mean, they look, unless they're all planted, you've got to be really careful there. That was a good spot. I mean, if that is a real crowd, I don't quite know how to feel about that. Because if he catches any of them, like, if there's any kids around or anything, like, that's pretty reckless. It's a good-looking spot. But they do look like genuine crowd members. But there's a reason why you don't see those spots often. If he had caught any of them, then better call Saul. Have you been hurt in the workplace? MJF pops up. It's a good-looking spot, though. This match is awesome. Those kids act dumb. Shout out to you. Jay said the Inner Circle versus Pinnacle feud should have ended at Double or Nothing. Looking for a pile driver off the second. 1, 2, shoulder up. I mean, that should have put him away, shouldn't it? That should have put him away. That's a pile driver off the second rope, and he's kicked out from it. I mean, even the Undertaker ain't doing that. A tombstone pile driver from the second. That would have been an AEW look. Wow, they've got money. It wouldn't have been a problem. Jericho said he's never seen that move in the United States. These two have done some really good spots. This match is boring, says Dom15. Can this match end? The crowd is over-obsessed. It is a bit strange that they were so quiet And then out of nowhere, because of one destroyer, they started chanting, "This is awesome." That was a little strange. Like, if they'd have been bit like now, they should be chanting it really after all these spots. But they've gone back to being quiet again. Listen, the crowd are not losing their mind. It's a weird match, this. I feel like you could write articles about this match. I'll prepare the coffin and the funeral. Sammy just died. The peak was the Sammy spot. This is a great match if that's what you're talking about. This match is too long. They are whispering to each other after the tombstone. Sammy is injured. MJF is giving him time. It has gone a bit weird. Sammy is in between. Is on the outside. MJF's going to look to put him away. He can't do it. He gets slammed down on his knee. He's hobbling over. Shoulder tackle over the top. He drops down to reverse by Sammy to nice kick there by Sammy. Knee strike. Sammy going for the cover. 1, 2. Foot on the rope. I like that. That's a good spot. MJF had managed to go round and put his foot on the rope. I'm not an AEW hater. I just don't enjoy everything that they put out. This match should be the main event. It is the main event. How do they kick out of the big moves? AEW makes wrestling look fake. Okay, well, MJF is down, and Sammy is climbing up. Sammy is looking around. He's trying to involve the crowd. MJF is pleading that he doesn't do anything. And he connects. 1, 2, 3. Just a... No. This is a good match, says Cheese Whiz. Big E and Lashley for SummerSlam would be fun. Capsman said, it's still real to me, damn it. Here's Sean Spears. Big E, Nikki to win Money in the Bank. Here's Jericho. Here's Wardlow. We do have a brawl. We do have a brawl. Right, so we've got 6 minutes to go. Wardlow is with Jericho. Wardlow throws Jericho off the stage. Now the match is getting worse with a brawl. Here's the chairman. He hits Sammy with a chair. Okay. Jericho missed the table. Yeah, MJF is crawling over. He pins Sammy. And he gets the 3. MJF wins. There's still 5 minutes left. Perhaps they'll just wrap it up. Okay, Wardlow's in. They're checking on Jericho. That was bad, says Dom15. Jim said it's a solid 9 out of 10. AEW fans really like to trash on WWE, but the brawling factions is something WWE would do. Sonny says, okay. There's still 5 minutes. Well, let's see, shall we? That was a good spot. I like that. Where he jumps into him when he's in the crowd. That was good. Tombstone, that would be a great finish. But it shouldn't have continued after that. That was terrible, says Michael. Yeah. Well, we're just getting shots of people being down. We're ending. I think we're done with Daly's place. I mean, the commentators are saying, gentlemen, it's been a wonderful run here. They said they just want to thank everyone at Jacksonville. Bye, Jacksonville, finally. Oh, this is nice. This is a little video package of being in Daly's place. And Brody. The arrival of Matt Hardy. So we're just seeing some moments from the history of AEW at Daly's place. The Brody stuff hits quite hard, doesn't it? Stadium Stampede, the first one. They literally said they're back in August. God, they showed Zack Ryder. Do you remember when we all thought that he was definitely going to join because he's great friends with Cody? Daly's Place era was better than Thunderdome. If it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck. That is true, Ryan. That is true. Dates, can you download Bouncy Ball Collector? They've just added a golden ball that gives you double points. I think there should be a special show. Inner Circle Pinnacle, 5 singles matches, no interference. Most wins for the faction with the pay-per-view. Inner Circle, la 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 la. It's a good idea, Jay. It's a good idea. Bye-bye, Jacksonville, Florida. Michael said, what's your thoughts on AEW? Well, we'll get people's thoughts in a sec. We've just got the Brody Lee boots in the ring. The awful Snoop Dogg splash. They showed the awful Snoop splash, yes. Right, so they showed that. It ends with AEW. See all the fans. Ryan says, thank you, Jacksonville. JR said, what a night, what a crowd, what a city. Road Rager next week from Miami. Right, get in your thoughts. What did you think about Dynamite tonight? What was your scores? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you happy? Are you sad? What do you think about Dynamite? There should be a Brody Lee Memorial pay-per-view. Melissa said 8. Jay said 7. Days, the problem I have is that they do these spots that make no sense on how the wrestlers would kick out. The Tombstone, Canadian Destroyer. That's a fair point. Shaquem says 6. Brad says 6.5. Robin said 5.75. Dylan said 7. Tommy said 7. Needed more brawls. 3 says Brian. Carl says 5.75. Austin says 6. Future Compilation says 5. Cheese Whiz 7. Rockstar says 9, especially for the ending. Let's Go says 8. Melissa says 8. WWE fan said 6. LSW said 6. JR said WWE Dynamite. Lol. Edward Brown said Days in the fight chat. I was saying wrestling days. Shout out to you. Jimmy said 7.25. Austin says 6. Grant said 6. Brandon said 3. Labria said it was bad. Tahil says 8. Vape Ross Vape says 8. Those Kids Act Dumb says 10. Mark says 9. Devontae says 5. Brandon says 7. Airflow says 6. Johnny says 10. C. Rayford said 6.5. Smurfy Toon said 9. John Gardner said 10. Sonny said 6. Legend Killer says 6.5. Jay says 5. I'm gonna say this is about a 6 for me. I've seen way better Dynamites than this. I've seen way better Dynamites. I think if you enjoyed this, then that's great. That's brilliant. I just think I've seen better Dynamites than tonight. I think that, to me, it was building up to the main event that needed to, I don't want to say save the show, but there wasn't much about the show that I really enjoyed. I mean, normally there's loads that I can joke about and have fun with, but we just seemed to go from, like, segment to segment, really. And there wasn't really anything to get your teeth into or have fun with, and I don't know, I just found it a little bit like I just couldn't get into it. But I thought I'll get into MJF and Sammy Guevara. As soon as we got to the main event, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get into this. And then it started a bit weird. And the way it started, I was expecting some more aggression. And they didn't really have any aggression. And then, like, they just started to do a bit of a wrestling match. But I liked the pace of it. And I was like, okay, here we go. And then there's a few spots that I like. There's a few spots that I don't think fit. Like, the match overall, I think, is a little bit clunky. I kind of feel like, you know, if you're going to do a tombstone off the middle rope, that should be the finish. I kind of feel like after that as well, I think they injured themselves. And then, like, the pace of it kind of fell away. And even the crowd was a bit strange, where they're really quiet. And then someone hits a destroyer and they start chanting, "This is awesome." It was like, normally the crowd are really into it with, oh, no, you know, they're proper into it. And then, like, there's no option but to chant, "This is awesome." But that "This is awesome" kind of came early and came out of nowhere. It was just a bit weird. Just kind of felt like it summed up the match, really. Just didn't. It was a little bit clunky. It was a little bit strange. I could see people enjoying it. I just kind of thought, I mean, it was nowhere near the level of last week's main event, in my opinion. I thought last week with Kenny and Jungle Boy was fantastic. Really, really enjoyed last week. And I thought, you know, this was going to be that level. But I think if I was Tony Khan, I'd be a little bit concerned, to be honest. I'd be a little bit concerned that they've gone out there and given me that match. That's not the match that I would be looking for from these two. I don't think it necessarily fit in with a company that prides itself on its storytelling. I didn't sense that these two hated each other. Certainly not like Sammy hating MJF. Couldn't wait to get his hands on MJF. I don't think that kind of came across. So I think if I was Tony Khan, I'd be sitting these two down saying, look, I know you're still young. I know that you're the future, but I expect you to give me better than that. And this is where I think you've gone wrong. Bang, 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 and go down the list. But it'll be, I think for AEW fans, it'll be good enough. And that's it for Jacksonville. And to be honest, I think they're at the point now where they need a bit of a refresh. I think to go with a different crowd, to go to a different space, to have a stage that gives you a bit of a different look, I think it's just going to be something different for everyone. So I think this is a show that needs to leave Daly's Place now. Daly's Place, though, has definitely established itself as like the Madison Square Garden for AEW. So they can go back and they can, you know, always have it as like the homecoming. Like AEW homecoming and go back to Daly's Place. That would be a good pay-per-view. Or if they wanted to do it as like a... if they wanted to do it as a special for Dynamite, that would also be good, you know. They've got like Road Rager next week, but as we said, if they ever go back to Daly's, and of course they will, then they could label it Homecoming, and I think that would give people the feels. So Jungle Boy's mom said, I think my problem with AEW is that it tries too hard at the end, and it doesn't quite work. The Jericho crash pad, Jericho missing the table tonight. So for me, it would be 4.5. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think I just didn't even think it needed all of that. I think sometimes it doesn't need all this extra stuff. Like I think you could say that AEW is guilty sometimes of trying too hard. Actually, I think AEW can try too hard. I think it can actually try to overcomplicate things and try to give you big spots that sometimes don't come off. You know, I mean, we can go through loads of examples of where they've, you know, tried big things and they haven't quite come off the way they wanted. And so you can applaud them for trying, or you could criticize them and say, why don't you just keep it simple? Why don't you just keep it really simple and solid, and like the show would actually be better? Like if that had just been a one-on-one match, you didn't really need all these people coming down. But I don't actually think the outside interference was the problem, really. I think there was other problems in that main event match, personally, but I'm not down on it. Do you know what I mean? Not like down on it. I still think the show was all right. That's why I've given it a 6, but I think it's below average. I've seen way better Dynamites than this. Think we're about done. Caleb said, Days, why did AEW say WWE Dynamite? Because the announcer is an old WWE guy, and he continually makes those kinds of mistakes, and it's going to get blown up, and everyone's going to talk about it, but does it really matter? Does it really matter? Honestly, if he said WWE Dynamite, then, you know, he worked for that company for how many years? He spoke about this on his podcast as well, you know. It's something that he struggles with because he worked for WWE for year after year after year after year. And in his head, you know, I think he still struggles to think AEW. I think he's still, when he's commentating, you know, his brain switches off momentarily. So I'm sure he'll feel bad about it. I'm sure he'll apologize for it. I'm sure Twitter's going to rip into him for it. I'm sure the WWE fans are going to love it. I'm sure the AEW fans are going to get frustrated by it. But does it matter? Honestly, does it matter? That's how I look at it. It's a fair grade. I'm an AEW mark and I didn't really love it, says Moby. Dylan, thanks for the great stream. To be honest, I don't think this was that great of a stream. I was really struggling. I'll be honest. I was really struggling to find something to get stuck into. Normally we have a laugh with things, and like, you know, we had a laugh with the green shirt guy thing, but as we got into like the second half of the show, I think more so the second half, we just seemed to go from segment to segment, and I just couldn't find anything to have fun with or get teeth into. It's a weird one. It's a weird one this week. Y'all don't recall that JR also has been through trauma. He had an actual heart attack. The dude isn't who he used to be. Yeah, man, don't leave JR alone. JR's a legend. He's maybe the greatest commentator of all time, and he's old and he's going to make those mistakes. And if it was a youngster, then, you know, fair play. Shouldn't be making those kind of mistakes. But JR worked for WWE for forever. Do you know what I mean? So, nah, he gets a free pass from me. Caleb, WWE Minecraft Gaming said, what do you like better, NXT or AEW? I think that it depends on the week. Each week it could go either way. So sometimes NXT is the better show, sometimes AEW is the better show, sometimes AEW has the best match of the week, sometimes NXT has the best match of the week. I think NXT and AEW are the two wrestling shows, if you will. So it's understandable that they would be compared, and obviously they were head-to-head for a while on a Wednesday. So again, it's understandable that they would be compared. But yeah, I think it's difficult. I don't think I could sit here and say NXT is the better brand, because they do stuff that I think's, below average. But then they've got some good stuff as well. And so I just think you have to look at it week by week, to be honest. Rated R says bye for now. Pat, the NFL broadcaster for years, used to call the Baltimore Ravens the Baltimore Colts. The Colts used to be in Baltimore before moving. Yeah. Johnny said WWE Dynamite was good tonight. I've still got a PP headache. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Brian said, breaking news, Britney Spears' request to remove her dad has been denied. Oh, my God. Heartbreaking. I haven't been keeping up with that story, in all fairness. I know people want to free Britney, but I don't really get it, so I can't comment. So, sad. There we go. Brian said, free Britney, damn it. LSW, shout out to you. Austin, shout out to you. Yeah, bit of a weird one, this one. I'll hold my hands up and say it's a bit of a weird one. I just couldn't find anywhere the humour was, to be honest. We just went from segment to segment, and the show was the show. So it was one of those, but hey, we'll be right back on it. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow, in all fairness. Friday, of course, we've got SmackDown. And I think also we've got... Don't the Euros start again on Friday? I think they do. I don't even need to look. I know they do. Euros on Friday, Saturday. England on Saturday. SmackDown on Friday. I think we might do some kind of football thing tomorrow, but I'm not sure. We'll do a retro watch-along on Sunday as well. So I might try and put a little poll up for that, actually. So I'll have a look at that. Sunday is 4th of July. So I will have a look to see if we can get a little poll up for that. That being said, I think we're done. I think we are done, my friends. So a massive shout out to everyone that joined us tonight. Appreciate the support as always. It was nice having a little chat before the show. And as I said, I thought the first hour was all right. We had a bit of fun with the guy calling out Green Shirt Guy, who never did it again, by the way. Did it at the start and then never did it again. I don't want to say that he saw my tweet, but I think we know the truth. I think we know the truth. Hashtag Green Team. So, big shout out to everyone. Have a great evening wherever you are, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.